Protect your mind and use your strength to continuously attack the sea of consciousness. Protect your mind and use your strength to continuously attack the sea of consciousness. Not enough. Not enough. A bit stronger. Still not enough. Just a little more. In the secret room, Hong Tianjun was covered in sweat, his body emitting a blazing aura. He continuously drew on his energy to attack his sea of consciousness, to continuously attack it, but was unable to break through the paper-thin shackles. Beside him, a deity frowned. Looking at the energy circulating in Hong Tianjuan's body, he started to worry. Not enough. If you increase your strength again, the War King realm will be using all the potential in your body as soon as possible. If you can't do it, you won't be able to break through it in your entire life. The immortals said solemnly. However, this still wouldn't do, and he still couldn't release the power in Hong Tianjuan's body. Hong Tianjun was the disciple that he had his eyes on. In the past, he only had his eyes on it. Every year, he would come over to give some pointers, and with his help and with the support of all the cultivation resources of the Chao Tian sect, Hong Tianjuan's breakthrough speed was like that of a god. No one could compare to him. Half a month ago, the immortal came suddenly, and he did not leave, because if he could send a demon slayer to the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals, then his master's position in the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals would definitely be raised by a lot, and he might even become the great clan elder of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals. He himself also had the possibility of becoming an elder of the God Emperor Academy's Judgment Pavilion. The Judgment Pavilion was above the God Emperor Academy. Hong Tianjuan's talent was the best he had seen in the past few years. These few years, he had always been secretly helping Hong Tianjun and had even accepted him as a disciple. As long as he broke through the War King, Hong Tianjun would not even need to take the examination to directly enter the God Emperor Academy. Become a demon slayer that's being nurtured. Seeing Hong Tianjuan's power weakening, he frowned and roared. You still want to become the strongest warrior in the South Horizon region? If you can't make it up to it today, how will you become a demon slayer? How do I enter the God Emperor Academy? Tianju, don't let me down. Hong Tianjuan's idea entered a certain realm. The bones in his entire body creaked loudly, and he started to attack once again with all of his might. TL. No way. The immortal's heart tightened. In these 3 years, his breakthrough speed was too fast, to the point that he neglected to train his body. If he could not break through the War King realm in a single go, he might be crippled. If that's the case, then all my 3 years of hard work will be wasted. No way. Master is still waiting for me. If I could bring a demon slayer back, Master will definitely be happy. He cannot fail. The forehead of the immortal tightened. At this moment, he could not care so much and asked solemnly, "Do you still remember Long Fei? The brat that wants to fight with you for a woman. His cultivation is already at the War God's peak realm, and all his powers are rushing to the Heavens sect now. Do you know what his purpose is? If you do not break through the realm of War King, your woman will definitely be taken away. Tianju, if you want to become a supreme being and become the strongest warrior, then you must rush through this trial." He also knew Long Fei. However, he didn't know what cultivation Long Fei had. The reason he said that Long Fei was at the peak of the War God level was to provoke Hong Tianjun. He wanted to stir up the anger in Hong Tianjuan's heart. Indeed, Hong Tianjuan's eyes suddenly opened wide. Humph! A mere trash wants to fight over a woman with me. Is Star's Pet Chain Supermarket worthy of fighting with Hao Yue? Long Fei, I have never placed you in my eyes. Never in my eyes. You're not even comparable to an ant. If I could step on you once in Fireglass City, I would be able to step on you twice. You want to steal my woman? You are not yet qualified. Anger raged in Hong Tianjuan's heart. The moment he released his overbearing aura, the immortal cultivator was ecstatic because Hong Tianjuan's power had suddenly doubled, but he was still able to unleash such powerful attacks. A strand of devilish qi quietly formed in Hong Tianjuan's mind. The energy that protected his mind was slightly shaken. The immortal's heart tightened. Should we stop it? If you stop it, Hong Tianjun will definitely fail in his attempt to break through to War King. No way. I absolutely can't stop him. If he fails in his charge, he'll just be reduced to trash. I don't want my 3 years of hard work to turn him into trash just like that. I absolutely can't. Anyway, Supreme God also said that no matter if it's a human, demon, or demon, they can all enter God Emperor Academy. Even if they fell into the Devil Tao, they can all still become Demon Slayer. The immortal's heart went crazy. He could save Hong Tianjun. It could expel the demonic chi from his body, but he did not do so, because the moment it was expelled, Hong Tianjun's attempt to break through the barrier would fail. In that case, his efforts would have been in vain. Demonic chi. It was also because of the stimulating words he said just now. Otherwise, Hong Tianjun definitely would not have allowed the inner demon to invade. Increase your strength, break through it. The immortal let out a furious roar. Hong Tianjun also roared angrily. Ah, Long Fei, if you hurry over, I'll definitely kill you. Rumble, rumble. With a loud explosion, the sky seemed to explode as a thunderous explosion sounded out. The explosion covered 1,000,000 kilometers and was still spreading. He's become an emperor. Someone is sealing the emperor. Heavens, there's actually an emperor-level character. It's heading towards the Sky Sect. Could it be? Is it Hong Want to? Impossible. He simply doesn't have the qualifications to enter the War King. The only possibility is Hong Tianjun. If it's him, then the Heaven Sect will be unstoppable. The South Horizon region will really be overshadowed by the Heaven Sect. The voice spread over 1,000 kilometers. The countless sects were all shocked. Nantian sect, Xinjian sect, and the other orthodox sects had all summoned their elders and grand elders to discuss with each other. War King realm. In these few hundred years, not a single one had appeared, and his cultivation at the War King realm was enough to easily destroy a first-rate sect. They had to be very careful. The Chao Heaven sect. Ha! Hong Want to laughed out loud in excitement. My son is the #1 person in the entire South Horizon region. Who can achieve the realm of War King? The entire Heaven sect was extremely excited. What did the realm of War King mean? This meant that it was time for them to unite the South Horizon region. Nantian's sect was awesome, directly crushing him. Long Fei annihilated the demon sect. Was he really that powerful? He directly slaughtered them. Even if the sects of the entire South Horizon region combined forces, they still wouldn't be a match for the Heaven sect. Inside Lu Luoshi's courtyard, Xiao Tiantian's gaze was lifeless, and Yi Zian sat on the stairs, unable to say a word. Lu Luoshi looked up at the sky, his heart bleeding. She was very happy that Long Fei did not die and came back with the news. She had always hoped that Long Fei could save her. However, Hong Tianjun broke through the War King. The last shred of hope in her heart had also been shattered. In her heart, she was crying with all her might, shouting, Long Fei, you better not come, you must not come. Chapter 38_8419/2356825 10,000 een Forbidden Land. 10,000 een Forbidden Land. Boom! A loud sound came from the sky. Long Fei trembled in fear as he cursed. Damn! A good thunder would scare a person to death. This was the demon sealing thunder. Long Fei did not know. He only knew that when he looked at the stone door, he was still somewhat afraid. Damn! I was scared when I was in the War Master Ream, but now that I have it, what the F*** CK? Long Fei took a step forward, placed his hands on the stone door, and suddenly pushed. The thick stone door began to move, producing a deep sound. Inside the crack of the stone door, a wave of demonic chi was blowing towards them, causing them to tremble in fear. Long Fei's mind tensed up, and he started to be cautious. Boom! The stone door was completely opened. It was pitch black inside, and he couldn't see anything clearly. It was like a world of nothingness. It was a very special space. Stood at the stone door, a glint flashed across his eyes. The level 9 war god could also see 100 meters ahead of him at night, but he couldn't see anything clearly here. What is this place? Long Fei became more curious. Phew! Huff! A burst of heavy breathing came over. It was the same as the breathing of a huge beast, and it had to be like a cold wind blowing out of the darkness as it pounced on a Long Fei's body. That feeling, it was as if a surge of energy had enveloped him. Very strange. Long Fei tensed up. I have even passed through hell. Why would I be afraid of this? Finished. Long Fei stepped into the darkness. The level 9 war god was enough to control the air to fly, but the moment Long Fei took a step forward, his feet stepped on the air and he fell. At this moment, rumble. His mind began to churn and churn. It was extremely uncomfortable as waves of powerful gravity pressed down on his body. In less than half a second, his internal organs were squeezed together and the blood in his chest was tumbling. He could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Moreover, at this moment, he was still falling. Long Fei was enraged in his heart, unparalleled at level 4. Wong. With his 16 times of elemental energy released, his mind and consciousness could barely withstand it, but he still continued to roll, and Long Fei was unable to stop himself from falling. He wanted to fly, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't. Gravity. A unique gravitational magnetic field. Long Fei's domination was not just a domination of a certain realm, but a domination of a unique gravity field. His body was like a mountain. Let alone flying, he might not even be able to stand steadily. Falling down like this isn't a solution. If you don't fall to your death, you'll at least be half dead. Long Fei thought. The power of hell. Open. Wong. Long Fei activated his power and shouted, Sky Soundwave. Roar. A sound rang out. At the same time, Long Fei crazily calculated. The speed of sound is 340 meters per second, producing an echo. At this moment, Long Fei realized that his IQ was not high enough. However, he miraculously calculated the distance between his body and the ground. Being handsome is indeed different. Long Fei moved both his fists, the power of Mountain Hit Fist fusing into his arms. His fists turned into palms, and when there was still some distance between him and the ground, he let out a roar. Break! The true chi moved. It shot out from his palms and hit the ground. This force also created a backlash. Use the rebound to reduce Long Fei's falling speed. Bam! This! Long Fei fell to the ground, the kind of impact that did not harm him. He stood up with difficulty, his body swaying as he muttered, Luckily this young master is knowledgeable. I would definitely fall to my death if someone else said that. However, where is this place? How could there be such a place at the foot of Evil Sound Sec Mountain? Long Fei was secretly shocked in his heart. The gravity here is 5 times greater than outside. His body was completely crushed. Looking at the pitch-black darkness, Long Fei's idea moved slightly as he said, Ice and fire, come out and throw out a fireball. Let me see what kind of place this is. Binghua opened her eyes and said, Understood. And then, Ice and fire rushed out of War Pet space. The moment he came out, his body dropped down from the sky, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Master, this place is too strange. Long Fei forgot to remind her. However, fortunately, the ice and fire body was stronger. After all, it was the dragon's body. Long Fei asked, Can you spit out flames? Icy Blaze said with great difficulty, I'll give it a try. His throat churned as flames spewed out from his mouth. Originally, it was a huge fireball, but the flames had only turned into a fist-sized fireball. The fire from the ice began in his stomach. When his stomach was crushed by gravity, the flames that attacked him would naturally weaken. Long Fei looked towards the direction of the fireball. The more he looked at it, the more terrified he became. This was a huge space, and the surroundings were densely covered in strange symbols. These strange symbols seemed as if they were made of molten metal. Every rune emitted a strong power. Had never felt such power before. In the end, a crack appeared on the surface of these giant symbols. The crack was new, and had only cracked for a short while. However, These cracked symbols did not emit any power. The symbols were destroyed, and the power disappeared. Seeing this, the flames also disappeared. Long Fei said, "Again, look to the left." "Yes, sir." The flames and ice shot out once more. The situation on the left was about the same as on the other side. There were also quite a few rune cracks. Huff, huff, huff. At this moment, Long Fei felt waves of cold wind rush down from above his head. He slightly raised his eyes, but could not see what was there. Fire and ice followed suit. A giant with a horn on his head. His entire body was pitch black, and his body was covered with dense chains. All the chains were connected to the runic wall, and a few of the chains were already broken. The giant was at least 100 meters tall. The entire body was burning with black devil flames, and also an incomparably terrifying aura of gravitational pressure was emitted from his body. The darkness of the entire space was formed from the devil's flames that were emitted from his body. The powerful gravity of the entire space was the aura radiating from his body. And here, this was a huge seal arena. He had used a total of 1,800 runic chains to trap him. The surrounding rune walls were set up for him. Long Fei's mind tensed up and couldn't help but take a step back. At this moment, he realized that he had broken into a place that he shouldn't have entered. In the seal of an ancient giant demon. He wanted to leave. This was because he knew that this was not a giant demon he could deal with. However, at this moment, the giant demon's eyes suddenly opened, as though he was staring at an ant staring at Long Fei. At this moment, ugh, roar, a loud sound pierced through the sky, directly shattering Hong Tianjuan's emperor's lightning in the sky, and resounded throughout the entire sky martial continent. The heavenly hall of immortals. Supreme God's gaze tensed up. Not good. Another huge demon wants the breaking through the seal. Chapter 48_8419/2356-826. The heavenly hall of immortals was shaken. The heavenly hall of immortals was shaken. 19 elders flew over in a hurry. Supreme God's face was pale as he said solemnly, "The great demon from the seal in the South Horizon region has also awakened. I'm afraid that it has also awoken from its slumber." "Then what should we do?" "Supreme God, the cultivation in the South Horizon region is getting weaker and weaker every year. They can't even hold on. Anyway, all the immortal sects have been evacuated tens of thousands of years ago. The South Horizon region is simply a wasteland, and even if we were to be annihilated, it wouldn't have much of an impact on the Tianwu continent." True, ever since the immortal sect left, the southern domain was exiled. It's not worth protecting any longer. Look at how in the past 100 years, no one has managed to pass the God Emperor Academy's examination. You can't put it that way. After all, the South Horizon region was once flourishing, and there are tens of billions of people in the South Horizon region. We can't just sit idly by and let you know that, can we? The South Horizon region is still the source of a long family. If it were to be destroyed, how would we account to him? On Hall of Immortals, all the elders were discussing. The secret lock between Supreme God's brows caused him to be unsure of what to do. The immortal domain was too far away from the South Horizon region. Even if they hurried over now, they would still need a day. At this moment, a brown-robed elder stood out and said, Great honored warrior, I am willing to go to the South Horizon region to investigate this matter." The entire Hall of Immortals was suddenly quiet. "Elder Gu, are you willing to go to the South Horizon region?" Everyone was shocked. Gu Wuji slightly nodded and said, "I am willing to go, and I also have a disciple in the southern domain. Half a month ago, he told me that it is very possible that the demon slayer we are looking for has appeared." As soon as he finished, the entire hall was filled with shock. Supreme God's face trembled as he asked, "Demon slayer?" Gu Wuji said, "That's right. That's what my disciple told me. 23 years old level 9 war god. Before the giant demon roared, I felt a furious thunder from the south. It should be the Emperor's lightning. It was simply nothing in the realm of War King. He was even inferior to an ordinary student of the God Emperor Academy. But it was different in the South Horizon region. Moreover, he was only 23 years old, and that alone was enough to shock everything. The Supreme God said, slightly, "Just now, the southern region sent a sound like the Emperor's lightning. Being able to break through the War King at the age of 23, your talent is indeed unparalleled. If you could train in the God Emperor Academy, your cultivation would definitely advance by leaps and bounds." They all knew what it meant to be 23 years old in the War King. Gu Wuji was secretly happy as he continued to speak. The 23-year-old War King is indeed very powerful, but this kind of talent is not enough to become a demon slayer. He is even more powerful than the Blood Vein S. They are all at the 9th level of the divine level. As soon as he finished, at this moment, the entire Hall of Immortals became incomparably quiet. Vein of Ancient First Emperor, Divine Ranked Level 9. This was the highest level blood vein among Divine Ranked Blood Vein. The Supreme God was moved and said excitedly, "No wonder he was able to break through the War King's realm at the age of 23 and possess Vein of Ancient First Emperor. This person is extraordinary. He might really be the prophetic devil slayer. Vein of Ancient First Emperor are really extraordinary. They are rare even in the immortal domain. How can such a talent only appear now? Just a divine ranked level 9 blood vein is enough to pass the selection. Elder Gu, that disciple of yours is really well hidden. To think that he didn't recommend such a genius." Everyone gave him envious looks. Based on all of these, it could be concluded that Hong Tianjun was the prophetic demon slayer. As long as his potential was unleashed, the power of the ancient emperor could easily exterminate the giant demons. Supreme God immediately said, "Elder Gu, you should head to the southern domain now. No matter what, you must protect this child. Regardless of whether or not he is the prophetic demon slayer, his cultivation, potential, and talent are all in a million. This kind of genius must be protected, and in the future, he will contribute a great amount of strength to the demon slayer." Gu Wuji hugged his hands and said, "Disciple will do as you say." Finished, Gu Wuji turned into a streak of light and flew towards the South Horizon region. The elders of the Hall of Immortals all revealed looks of envy. Ben, Gu Wuji didn't plan to say it now, but he was worried about the Southern Domain's accident as well. Furthermore, his disciple had once said something about a 3-year agreement between Hong Tianjun and another person. No matter whether it was the giant demon clan members or the one promised for 3 years, he would not allow anyone to hurt a single hair on Hong Tianjun's head, because Hong Tianjun was now the best card for him to ascend to the position of Great Clan Elder in Hall of Immortals. As long as he could find the first demon slayer, he would definitely receive the Supreme God's favor. After the Supreme God left his hiding place, maybe he would become the Supreme God of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals. Gu Wuji laughed crazily in his heart. Long Fei was suffering. He just wanted to find an equinox flower and level it up. That's all. However, how could he have thought that he would enter the giant demon seal? However, the suffering was only the beginning. The moment the giant demon opened his eyes, Long Fei's eyes widened and his body couldn't help but tremble. Not afraid. He was excited because the giant demon's body erupted with an incomparably glaring gold light, causing Long Fei to be unable to open his eyes. What did this mean? It was incomparably large. With a sweep of his bitter and interested slap, Long Fei's right hand moved and directly grabbed out the dragon salyer. His mouth revealed an excited smile, and he said, "I'm going to kill you." Very arrogant, very overbearing. Killing a normal demon beast to level up was already impossible. If this level up giant demon killed him, it might be able to level up, or it could even level up several times in a row. Long Fei's heart started to boil. The giant demon's eyes sank. Looking at Long Fei, who was like the little guy, he laughed wildly and said, "Little guy, are you going to explode me? Ha, ha ha. With your cultivation, you can't even withstand a single sneeze from me. You're going to blow me up? Then I want to see how you will blow me up. As soon as he finished, the giant demon's pupils violently twitched as a strong pressure from idea burst out from his eyes, heavily smashing the top of Xiang Longfei's head. At this moment, Long Fei frowned. He roared out, "Fourth level, peerless. Open." With a total of 16 times the elemental energy exploding out, Long Fei's body moved. He did not dodge, but charged straight at the giant demon, whose dragon salurettes were dragging on the ground, creating sparks from the friction. Flames flew in all directions. Long Fei exerted all of his strength and leapt up, roaring in his heart, "Dark Dragon God, use some of your strength." A burst of dense qi exploded from the dragon salure. The dragon god was furious. Long Fei roared out, "Dragon blades become one. Kill." The blade slashed down, but the giant demon did not defend at all. In fact, he did not even look at Long Fei. Chapter 5, 8_8419/2356827. Rumble, rumble. A loud sound echoed out. Long Fei's body was sent flying. In that slash, just now, an English letter floated above the giant demon's head. Miss. Long Fei was sent flying 100 meters before crashing into a rock. Spitting out a mouthful of blood, his face paled slightly. He had seen the attack very clearly. He hadn't even been able to destroy the dense demonic energy from the giant demon. He was sent flying by the demonic energy in the blink of an eye. "Ah-ha-ha. This is your power? You're the one that exploded out with my strength?" The giant demon madly laughed. "You overestimate yourself. Kid, I'll give you a chance to live. As a devil disciple, if you hand your soul to me, I'll spare your life." The giant demon coldly disdained. "I will spare you 8 times the ancestor." Long Fei took a step forward and shouted in his heart, "Multiple shadows. 8 body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh." 8 clones rushed towards the giant demon. The idea moved. Long Fei shouted, "Toting skill." The toting skill had a penetrating power. Just like earlier, the moment his body came into contact with the thick demon chi of gravity, all of Long Fei's clones were smashed apart. His original body was sent flying once again. "No way." Long Fei spat out another mouthful of blood and leaned against the wall. The demon chi of gravity on this guy's body is like a protective shield. Just think of ways to break his protective shield. However, Long Fei thought about the images of the spatial chains. These chains bound the giant demons. Without these chains, the giant demons would have definitely escaped with their breaking through the seal. Then, could these chains be his fatal weakness? Let's give it a try. Long Fei leapt up and stabbed the blade into the wall. He flipped fiercely and landed on an incomparably thick chain, which was also engraved with runes, and flew up along the chain in a crazed manner. Kill. The dark energy from the sword on the dragon's salure, combined with the soul evil fire's poison attack, and struck down. Rumble. Ah! Long Fei let out a painful cry as he was sent flying by one of the giant demon's eyes, and he crashed into the wall once again. Humph! Kid, you want to cut through the place where my runes locked onto my body? The giant demon laughed coldly and said, "It seems like you don't even know what the power of the seal is. The power of the seal can only hold on to the seal, not my weakness. Do you think this is my weakness? Ha ha, you're thinking too much. To an ant like you, I have no weaknesses. I am invincible." The giant demon laughed maniacally. He was abnormally disdainful of Long Fei. However, just as he was laughing maniacally, Long Fei's eyes widened in shock because a bright red number appeared above the giant demon's head. 1. A bit of damage was dealt, while a bit of damage was dealt a second later. Soul poison. He's afraid of poison. Long Fei's heart trembled, and his blood boiled, but, looking at the enormous amount of blood on the giant demon's head, Long Fei's heart sank to the bottom. 1 billion HP. The heck? Why don't you ascend to the heavens? Long Fei wanted to die. Even Yamaminamiya only had 90 million HP, but this guy only had 1 billion. What kind of existence was this? Too strong. Compared to him, Yama Minamiya was like a small child compared to him. However, Long Fei became even more excited. Every cell of his was burning. 1 billion HP. What kind of existence is this boss? Kill him. Berserk him. Long Fei was just like a madman. The stronger the boss, the more excited he would be. If you don't like it, then do it. Immediately, Long Fei rushed forward again, the soul evil fire superimposing its attack once more and striking. Once again, he was sent flying and the soul evil fire caused damage once again. 1 damage per second. However, Long Fei frowned. Even if it only took a second to deal the slightest bit of damage, it would be impossible with just these. I will need a few years to kill him, no. I don't have that much time. At this moment, Yin Huang Ancestor's voice sounded out. You need to comprehend the profoundness of strength to lift something that's as heavy as light. Only by doing this can you break the gravitational aura on his body. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to kill him. This giant demon is a million-year giant demon. Long Fei panted heavily and said, lifting something heavy is like lifting something light. How do you want to do it? Yin Huang Ancestor said, if you rely on your own comprehension, I won't be able to help you. This is the power of the entrance to the profound truths of strength. Comprehending the profound truths of strength? What do you want? How can I do that? Long Fei frowned. Comprehending the profound truths was not something that could be accomplished in a minute or two. Even in 10 years or 100 years, it would be impossible to comprehend it. What's more, this kind of profound meaning of lifting something heavy as though it was light. Difficult, very difficult. Long Fei leaned on the wall, and his head was about to explode. The giant demon grinned and said, little ant, why have you stopped? Continue. Didn't you say you would kill me? Hurry up and continue. My place is really itchy. Use more strength and let me scratch it. At the same time, he was also crazily provoking Long Fei. His strength was still restricted by the seal. His body was the same. If he could move, he could pinch Long Fei to death with one finger. Long Fei was not provoked and continued to think about the profound meaning of lifting something heavy as though it were light. However, the more he thought about it, the more messy his mind became. How to comprehend something without a clue. The thing that hurt the head the most was something that Long Fei hated to do the most. What should he do? To comprehend it? Long Fei was almost going crazy. Suddenly, a glint flashed in Long Fei's eyes, and his expression became agitated. I can't comprehend the profound truths of power as easy as lifting a weight. But I can learn a skill that can lift heavy as if it were light. I, your father, am truly a genius. Long Fei's heart was boiling, because at this moment he had already thought of a skill, gravity knife. The skill of the new general of the One Piece, Tung Hu. This is it. The giant demon simply did not understand what Long Fei was saying. However, looking at Long Fei's excited expression, a bad premonition rose in his heart. I've never seen a person like him. He was not afraid of me, but was instead excited when he saw me. This kid is not simple. However, even if it isn't simple, I will pinch him to death. The power in the giant demon's body was also continuously attacking him. He wanted to completely destroy the power of the seal. An hour passed. Long Fei is still comprehending the gravity knife. 2 hours passed. 3 hours passed. In his mind, images of Tung Hu making his move kept appearing, making sense of it. 200% of his power of comprehension had been pushed to the limit. The first day passed. The next day passed. The third day passed. The fourth day, Baidu's sister-in-law, A-half. Floating life, strongest upgrade system. Long Fei suddenly opened his eyes. A system notification rang out. Ding! Chapter 6, with a new chapter. Thanks for everyone's support. The C workday can only stay up late code word. Every day can write more than 10,000 words. Really try. Everyone understand? Thank you. 8_8419/2356828. With a flash of light, the system beeped. With a flash of light, the system beeped. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for comprehending the new skill Gravity Knife Method. You have gained 100 experience points, 100 true chi, 100 points, and a special reward. This. Long Fei exhaled a breath of air. The aura on his body became different, and he became excited. Finally, I've comprehended it. Ha ha ha. He couldn't help but become excited. For days, for whole days, his mind was completely filled with the images of the gravity knife, and his head was about to explode. His hard work paid off, and he finally succeeded. It was also at this time. Ka-cha-bang! One of the chains cracked, and the power of the seal's runes completely broke apart. In these 4 days, the 130 chains had broken, and each chain was faster than the last. Each chain was abnormally fierce. When Long Fei was trying to comprehend the gravity knife, the giant demon was also constantly shackling itself with the breaking through the seal. Little guy, it seems like you have figured out something. However, the giant demon's eyes sank. He faintly smiled. It's time to send you to hell. As soon as he finished, one of his arms moved, grabbing over a dozen of the chains to throw Xiang Long Fei. Huff, huff, huff. The chains streaked across the darkness and rubbed against the air to create flames, just like 10 or so fire dragons pouncing towards Xiang Long Fei. This power was too powerful. Long Fei's body sank as he leaned forward. The moment the giant demon attacked, he moved as well. Well, that doesn't mean anything. I've just come back, so you should want to go take a look, right? Chua, 4th level peerless. Buzz. 16 times the normal attribute strength exploded forth. Long Fei's speed increased yet again, and instead of defending against the attacks of the dozen or so chains, he charged towards the other half of the giant demon race. His aura stirred. When he closed his eyes, the 103,000 kilogram dragon salure in his hands felt as if it was light, as if it was weightless, but also felt as if it weighed millions of kilograms. He did not know if this was the profound truths of strength, where lifting something heavy was as easy as lifting it. However, he knew that this was Tung Hu's gravity knife. A seemingly ordinary slash came slashing down. Even the giant demon didn't notice its difference, and sneered disdainfully. Is this the result of your 4 days of comprehension? Too weak. Before he could finish his words, the giant demon's eyes suddenly sank. Rumble, rumble, rumble. His entire body was exploding as a crazy gravitational force surged through his body. The gravitational force and the flames on his body were unable to withstand it and directly shattered. Moreover, the entire space of the seal trembled, as if it couldn't withstand the attack of this gravity. At this moment, a bright red number appeared above the giant demon's head. With damage of 8 million, it was simply a critical hit. You dog. The giant demon was furious. His control over gravity surpassed everything. However, when Long Fei released the gravity knife technique, he actually could not feel anything different about it. With a loud curse, the giant demon's foreboding became even more intense. Anger. With a roar, 3 seal chains burst out, and the 100-meter-tall giant demon roared madly. His right arm fiercely twisted the chains that had fallen to the ground, sweeping them into his hands and heavily smashing them down. Upanishads, 1 million kilograms. Crack! The fist struck down, the strong wind on the fist raged, the strength stripes was extremely thick. Du Qi was incomparably fast. Long Fei's fighting spirit soared, his eyes staring at the huge fist that fell from the sky. He did not dodge, and rushed forward instead, saying, "Let's see whether your profound meaning is strong, while my gravity knife method is strong." Explode! Long Fei roared in his heart as he raised the gravity knife art to its limit. He rushed towards the huge fist and chopped down with his blade. Crack! The moment the two powers collided, the earth trembled and the mountains shook. The sky darkened, as if it was the end of the world. Rumble! The shockwave exploded out, and Long Fei was sent flying, smashing heavily onto the wall. Blood sprayed wildly. But Long Fei laughed sinisterly, excited. The giant demon madly laughed and said, "Little bastard, you dare to compete with me in strength. You're courting death." Long Fei wiped the blood off his mouth and said, "Do you think you've won? Look at your fingers." Crack! All of a sudden, a thin crack appeared on his 4 fingers. With an explosive sound, blood spurted out. The 4 fingers that were as thick as humans were cut off. "Ha, feeling good." Long Fei laughed. The giant demon roared continuously in pain, and the energy in his body also continued to explode. The runes in the seal space continued to dim. "This is bad. I have to kill him as soon as possible, or else." Long Fei secretly shivered in his heart. Based on strength, none of the 10 Long Fei's were a match for the giant demon. Even if Long Fei had comprehended a gravity knife, it was the same. If the giant demon wasn't trapped by the seal formation, Long Fei wouldn't even have had a chance. These giant demons were monsters that hadn't died a million years ago. Did they want to kill them? Even the immortal stage rankers in Immortal Domain found it hard to do so. We must kill him before his breaking through the seal, or else. Long Fei's heart tensed up. He took a step forward. Gravity knife. All ranks. Swish. The giant demon was furious. The flames of anger on his body formed into a thick power. He said in a deep voice, "I want to see just how many times you can withstand this." Rumble. The 2 forces clashed. The giant demon's head once again released a critical hit. Long Fei was once again sent flying. Again, Long Fei simply did not care about the pain on his body. He rushed forward again and again like a madman, and was blasted flying again and again. Dozens of times. The giant demons were shocked by this. Over 1,000 chains only had 200 remaining, but the giant demon was covered in wounds and was covered in blood. He stared at Long Fei and asked, why? He didn't even know what the why question was. Long Fei was also covered in blood and said excitedly, "Because I'm going to kill you." Ah. Long Fei rushed out once again. The giant demon was also furious. He attacked with his full strength. All the chains broke apart as he held his fists together, forming a battle axe that heavily smashed towards Xiang Long Fei. The heavenly hall of immortals. In the secret room, Supreme God's face tensed up. Oh no, the giant demon breaking through the seal. At this moment, Long Fei roared in his heart, "Either you die, or I die." He also let out a furious roar, and the instant he saw the power of the giant demon breaking through the seal, his mind trembled, and his sea of consciousness rumbled. That kind of crushing pressure was something he couldn't withstand. However, if you're not happy, just do it. They had to drop at the moment they saw the boss. Long Fei would never retreat half a step. High in the air, Long Fei's eyes moved. Devil Snake Eye of Destruction. A new power that was created from the fusion of the Devil Snake's Eye and the Supreme Demon Clan, Etiencho's Destruction Demon, was released by Long Fei in that instant. The giant demon had that little bit of petrification effect, and that little bit too, Long Fei slashed the blade down heavily. Chapter 1, The Mathematics of the Sea, was taught by the gym teacher, Guan. 1 billion experience was written as 100 million. I'm sorry. 8_8419/2356829. It was almost the last strike. If the giant demons did not die, then Long Fei was dead. Giant demon petrified. His eyes flashed with a terrified expression. Explode for me. A blade fell. The gravity knife Arts Upanishads reached its limit as it completely destroyed the giant demon's gravitational flame. Crack! A streak of Shuana Bai's lightning streaked down. Long Fei dropped from the sky and retreated to the side. The giant demon's attacks also stopped. Looking at Long Fei, he asked, "What's your name?" He suddenly asked. Long Fei shrugged. "Is it important?" The giant demon said, "It's important because I want to remember your name. If there's a next time, I'll definitely kill you." Long Fei laughed. Long Fei. The face of the giant demon shook and then suddenly laughed and muttered, "People from the Long family. Huh? I never thought that it would be someone from the Long family. I lived for 2,800,000 years in the seal, just so that he could kill me. Dragon diagram, is this your plan? Oh, I refuse to accept this." The giant demon looked like he had gone insane. He roared at the sky, but in that instant, a cracking sound could be heard from within his body as he spat out a large mouthful of blood. The wound on his head instantly turned into zero. The giant demon's huge body fell down. His two eyes were staring straight at Long Fei, and in the end, he even said in a voice filled with indignation, "Long family's people." Boom! The giant demon collapsed. Long Fei let out a long sigh of relief, closed his eyes, and said excitedly, "Come on, let's have a big fight. Release your striking attribute." Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing ancient giant demons for obtaining 10 experience points, true chi point, and energy values point. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the gravity blood vein. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining profound truths of strength. Do you wish to cultivate the 10,000 kilogram sleigh? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining giant demon arm. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining giant demon heart. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Zhuge sword fragment. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient giant demon. Would you like to refine it? The system seemed to have gone crazy as it kept exploding. Whatever else, Long Fei looked at that string of long experience and started laughing maniacally. "I'm just 1% away from leveling up. That's great. F***CK. The realm of the War King. I'm already a peerless emperor." It was also at this moment. Ding! The gravity blood vein was swallowed by the dragon Salyer. Wong! The dragon Salyer let out an explosive sound as its body started to burn. What it burned was the gravitational air flame. It was also at this time. The system sounded out again. Ding! Congratulations, player Long Fei, for defeating Ancient Giant Demon to obtain a special reward. The reward is incomplete and the skill level is max. Please choose. At this moment, Long Fei thought for a while and said, "Gravity knife method." Ding! Congratulations to the player Long Fei for comprehending the skill gravity knife technique and advancing to the great perfection stage. Huff! Long Fei exhaled and said, "Look at these things." The blood vein had already been devoured by the dragon Salyer. Giant demon arms. Fuse. Boom, boom. As soon as Long Fei's idea's voice fell, his two arms seemed to have been assembled out of steel, releasing an intense sound of heavy blows, and his two arms seemed to have instantly strengthened. At this time, Long Fei could feel the abnormally intense power within the arm, as if it was power of a giant. Ancient Giant Demon Heart, fuse. Buzz. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for increasing his physical strength to become a level 3 Saint Body. His defense had been strengthened again. Profound truths of strength. Slay with a weight of 10,000 kilograms. Cultivate. When the power of the giant demon punched down appeared in Long Fei's mind, his mind was trembling. Skill path. Profound tactics of the 1,000 Tyrant Slay grade. Divine abilities consumption. True Chi cooldown, 5 hours description, possesses the power to penetrate everything. A defense that breaks through into pieces and kills into death. A defense that disregards all divine equipment. Ignore the defense of the divine equipment. Damn, does it have to be this strong? Long Fei became excited. Hong Tianjun, you must have some sort of divine armor, right? This profound art has been prepared for you. Zhuge sword fragment. This is the second one. The last time he killed the king of hell, he obtained a piece. This time it was the ancient giant demon. He thought to himself, "Looks like the Lord sword is fated to be with me. We have the blueprints. We only need to find all the fragments to create the Zhuge sword." Last one. Long Fei looked at the last prompt. Break out the ancient giant demon. Refine it? What does that mean? Didn't I kill him? Why did it explode again? I don't care. Since it could explode, the system has already hinted that it can be refined. Long Fei's heart stirred, and he said, refine. At this moment, something flew out of Long Fei's space ring. Something he did not care about. The 18 levels of the Infernal Realms Pagoda. He was a little ferocious. Long Fei found out through the system that this was the 18th level of hell. When he killed the King of Hell, he revealed it because he was like a judge and like the Book of Life and Death, a trash that could not be used. Who would have thought that it would actually work? If the 18th level of hell is exposed by me, then wouldn't the underworld be in chaos? Amitba. Ha! Long Fei laughed like a madman. When he thought of that man with golden light, he ruthlessly said disdainfully, "You were the one who stopped me. Now it's all good." The 18 level of Hell Pagoda was in a damaged state, so Long Fei was unable to check its properties. The moment he flew out, it directly fell onto the body of the ancient giant demon. At this time, a beam of death light fell down, covering the ancient giant demon. Suddenly, it was as if the ancient giant demons had come back to life. He abruptly stood up. Long Fei was so scared that he almost peed on himself. The dramatic scene took place. The ancient giant demon suddenly knelt down on one knee in front of Long Fei, respectfully calling out, "Master!" Just 2 words. Long Fei was dumbfounded. With his Adam's apple rolling about, Long Fei carefully asked, "What did you call me?" The ancient giant demon was still incomparably respectful as he said, "Master, I—" Wow, 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 wow. Ha ha ha. Long Fei's blood was boiling. Every cell in his body was excited. This was refining an ancient giant demon? Isn't this way too King satisfying? Ancient giant demons. A giant owl from 3 million years ago. What kind of existence was that? It was unimaginable. Kneel before him now and call him master. Table of contents. You dare to believe it? Long Fei was still very excited, like a dream. If the ancient giant demons were to bring him to the Chao Tian sect. Ha ha! Long Fei began to laugh very shamelessly, very smugly. Chapter 28_2356_830. Rumble, rumble. The heavenly hall of immortals was shocked. Aside from Gu Wuji, 18 Fairy Hall Elder S all flew into the Hall of Immortals at the same time. Supreme God was already in Hall of Immortals, his face full of excitement. It appeared. It appeared. The first demon slayer has appeared. Supreme God's face was flushed red. He was indescribably excited. Just a moment ago, a giant demon had fallen. In the South Horizon region. It was the ancient giant demon that woke up 4 days ago. No doubt about it. The fall of the troll was the appearance of the troll slayer. Whoever killed the giant demon would become a demon slayer. Congratulations, Supreme God. Congratulations to Supreme God. The demon slayer that we have been waiting for has finally appeared. The danger in the Tianwu continent has finally turned for the better. That's right. To think that the first demon slayer would be born in the least popular South Horizon region. This is truly unexpected. During this period of time, they have been constantly searching for disciples with exceptional talent in order to find the demon slayer. The God Emperor Academy had sent out all of his messengers. However, not a single envoy entered the South Horizon region. Because of the 5 domains, the South Horizon region was the weakest of the 5. Even if it was the War King S, they would only be the lowest level of existence. How could there be a demon slayer in such a place? The South Horizon region was completely abandoned. However, no one would have thought that the first demon slayer would appear in the South Horizon region, the most trashy place in their eyes. Some of the elders sighed in their heart. Sigh. If I had known, I would have gone to the South Horizon region. If I could find a first demon slayer, I would have definitely obtained the Supreme God's reward. At that time, sigh. At this moment, Elder Gu has been gone for 4 days. Could he be the disciple that he has his eyes on? I think it's very possible. As soon as Elder Gu entered the South Horizon region, a giant demon fell. This must have something to do with him. He might even be the disciple he chose. You can't put it like that either. If he goes to the South Horizon region, what does the fall of the giant demon have to do with him? Maybe it was killed by some other disciple? You're right. The South Horizon region hasn't had a single disciple pass the God Emperor Academy's examination for the past 100 years. If they weren't disciples chosen by Elder Gu, who do you think would have been able to become a demon slayer? Vein of ancient first emperor, 9th level of the divine level, this is not an exaggeration. I think it was a giant demon killed by a disciple that Elder Gu chose. He is definitely a demon slayer. Could it be someone else? Others? Everyone knows in their hearts that in the 5 great regions of Sky Martial Continent, the South Horizon region is the weakest and most useless region. It is already impressive enough for a vein of ancient first emperor to appear in such a place. Do you think anyone else would be able to become a demon slayer? Exactly. How is that impossible? Don't forget, the South Horizon region is the source of all Long family, yes. You know better than anyone how strong they used to be. Elder E, you said it too. He was once a Long family. What about now? Even the most basic dragon blood activation has rarely reached 90 points. All these years, there have been a lot of things about the Long family, and they have become weaker and weaker, becoming a second-rate family in the mortal world. Listen carefully, they are all second-rate families. The speaker's eyes were filled with contempt, looking down on Long family. The Long family of the past was indeed glorious. But that was in the past. How many people in the current Long family still remembered it? Forgotten. Elder Yi's expression also darkened. At this moment, the Supreme God coughed lightly and said, I did not gather you here to quarrel. I wanted to hear what you have to say about the appearance of the Demon Slayer and what arrangements you have to make. As for who is the Demon Slayer, I will send someone to investigate. Actually, Supreme God's heart also tended towards the first type. He also felt that the South Horizon region's Demon Slayer was the disciple Gu Wuji had chosen, Hong Tianjun. Vein of ancient first emperor were indeed not simple. Supreme God, I suggest that we immediately bring him to the inner courtyard of God Emperor Academy to cultivate. The appearance of the Demon Slayer will definitely arouse the killing spirits of the other giant demons. We must protect him well. I agree. However, isn't the inner courtyard's cultivation in the God Emperor Academy too low? I suggest that he choose a master in the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals to cultivate as a true disciple. Only then will he be able to stimulate his greatest potential, and only then will he be able to quickly improve. This is a good suggestion. At this time, Elder E slightly said, I don't agree. Everyone immediately turned to look. The Elder E took a step forward and said, the giant demons have appeared, and the Demon Slayer has also appeared. What we need to do is not to protect them, but to let them experience countless of experiences and let their minds become stronger and their cultivation become stronger. He is a devil slayer, not a canary. An elder immediately retorted, Elder, how come your thoughts are different from ours? That's right, he has already killed a giant demon, but that does not mean that he can kill the other giant demons. He must cultivate, be protected by us, and not reveal himself to the other giant demons. He was killed by a giant demon? Can you afford that? Exactly. The Demon Slayer will definitely protect him and make him stronger. It will require absolute strength to let him out. Isn't that great? Elder E, I really don't know what you were thinking. Don't tell me you want to see a Demon Slayer that finally appeared to die. E became the target of public criticism. He was also constantly arguing, but no one could continue listening. Even the Supreme God was the same. The appearance of the Demon Slayer made them incomparably excited and allowed them to see a glimmer of hope. The more it was like this, the more they had to protect him. They absolutely could not let him be harmed in the slightest. In the end, the Supreme God coughed lightly and said, Elder Tai, follow me to the South Horizon region. You must protect the Demon Slayer well and not let anything happen to it. Tai Hong took a step forward and said with a heavy tone, Disciple obeys. I will not fail my mission, Supreme God said lightly. Go. Tai Hong transformed into a stream of light and disappeared into the horizon. He still wanted to say something, but was interrupted by the supreme god. Everyone, let's go back. Right. One demon slayer isn't enough. Everyone, send more people to look for it. Next year, the recruitment for the God Emperor Academy will be expanded. We must find all the demon slayer. All of the elders simultaneously kowtowed. Disciple obeys. And then, the supreme god turned into a ray of light and disappeared. On Hall of Immortals, the elders mocked. Some people really overestimate themselves. Yeah, you really think you're capable. He must be jealous that Elder Gu found a demon slayer. He hated the fact that he couldn't wait to kill him. Such jealousy is really shameful. 36. Oh, search. Half floating / / equals. He didn't take it to heart, but he still insisted on his opinion. In another place, Longface saw that the evil sound sect was empty and thought in his heart, I should be going to the heaven sect. Now it's my turn. Chapter 38_8419/2356831. New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. There was still one day until Clan Congress. At this moment, compared to a few years ago, the great occasion in there was several times more lively and lively. The scene was grand and majestic. The Heaven sect of Chaotic Storm also held the aura of the #1 sect of the South Horizon region. From the mountain gates to the summit, they were all served with servants, meticulous in their actions. It was impossible to find anything wrong with living and living alone. Just this bit of expenditure was more than 10 times that of Nantion's sect. However, whether it was a first-rate family in the South Horizon region, a dynasty, small sects, or small sects, it could be said that Clan Congress had made a huge profit this time. Just the spirit stones he had received formed a mountain, which was enough for him to spend on cultivating for a few years. Not to mention the precious gifts sent by the big sections. Haha! Welcome to the Myriad Gate sect. Pavilion Master Hong congratulates you. To think that your noble young master would become the #1 person in the southern domain to step into the War King realm in the past 100 years. He truly is a dragon amongst men. Not at all. Sect Leader Lu. Clan Leader Feng. The people who had been continuously coming to pay their respects for the past 10 days. These 10 days were Hong Wantu's happiest 10 days because everyone treated him with incomparable respect, giving him the feeling of someone who would become the master of the southern domain. Moreover, he was the lord of the South Horizon region. His son Hong Tianjun had broken through to War King, and no one could compare to him. Not to mention, the elders of the God Emperor Academy have already determined that their son, being able to enter the God Emperor Academy, is considered a specially recruited student. Furthermore, it was not just that. There was a high possibility that he would be selected by the elders of the Tong Tian Hall of Immortals and become a true disciple. In his heart, he had already become the overlord of the South Horizon region. No one could move against him. At night, hundreds of sect leaders and sect leaders were gathered here. Hong Wan sat in the middle of the hall, raised his glass, and said, "Welcome to my sect. All of you are my friends. F*CK. F*CK. Everyone picked up their glasses and downed the wine in one gulp. Ha ha ha. Hong Wan finished it in one gulp and laughed loudly. One of the sect leaders asked, "Pavilion Master Hong, tomorrow will be Clan Congress. I wonder if young noble Tianju can come up?" Ha ha. Young Master Tianju is going on stage. Who's going to be his opponent? They're all begging for mercy on the ground. That's right. He's a 23-year-old war king. He's the real #1 in the South Horizon region. I heard that young Master Tianju has been specially recruited by the Immortal Domain. Is the Hong sect serious? God Emperor Academy. That's the warrior temple. None of us have passed the God Emperor Academy's assessment in the past 100 years. It's even harder than ascending to the heavens. Everyone began to discuss. Hearing their discussion, Hong Wantu was very happy and said, "Tomorrow is the Clan Congress and also the Young Disciples Competition. As for God Emperor Academy," the voice stopped. Everyone looked at Hong Wantu, and the hall suddenly became quiet. Hong Wantu enjoyed the feeling of being the center of attention and laughed. The rumors you all have heard are not false. Tianju has already been recruited by the high-level elders of the God Emperor Academy, and next year, God Emperor Academy will enter Immortal Domain at the start of school. Crash! As the sound of his voice faded, the entire city burst into an uproar. It was only a rumor in the past, but now, with Hong Wantu's confirmation, everyone was extremely shocked. Young Master Tianju's reputation as the strongest person in the South Horizon region is indeed well-deserved. This is the fortune of our South Horizon region. In the future, you will definitely bring honor to our South Horizon region. Countless voices of praise rang out. Hong Wanjian was extremely happy. At this moment, a disciple rushed into the main hall, knelt down, and said, "Report." He looked flustered. Hong Wan slightly said, "If you have something to say, tell me." The disciple looked at the several hundred sect masters and hesitated. Hong Wantu's voice sank and said, "Speak." "Yes, yes," that disciple said. "I just received news that the Blood Sea sect was massacred. All of the disciples that we sent to the Heavenly Sect were killed." "What?" Hong Wan suddenly stood up, his eyes turned sinister as he coldly asked. "Who did it?" The disciple said, "3 people. 2 of them are under Long Fei's command, and there's even the other child. We have never seen him before." Long Fei. Hong Wan frowned, his body releasing a strong, killing intent. At this moment, another disciple hastily ran into the hall and said, reporting to sect leader, "The Mountain Sea sect has been massacred, and all of the disciples of the Chao Tian sect have been killed." Report. The Blood Refinement sect was massacred, and our men were all killed. 3 consecutive messages that made Hong Wanjian extremely unhappy had come, and this made him very angry. "Long Fei, you dog, I think you're tired of living." Hong Wantu's voice was incomparably gloomy. One of the sect masters immediately stood up and said, "Pavilion Master Hong, my 10,000 art sect is willing to be the vanguard and will definitely tear this Long Fei into pieces. As long as Pavilion Master Hong says it, my Lu Yi sect will immediately attack Fireglass City and uproot him." "Pavilion Master Hong, we are also willing." One by one, they stood up and made their decision. Hong Wan smiled slightly and said, "Merely a Long Fei. He's like a fly and likes to cause trouble, right? Tomorrow is the clan congress and also the day of our great wedding. Let's see what tricks you can come up with." "Someone come." "Here." An elder walked out. Hong Wanta said, "Are they going to head down the Heaven Mountain now?" "Invite them to the wedding tomorrow. I want them to personally see Long Fei die in front of them." Early morning, Lu Luoshi's courtyard. Xiao Tiantan hurriedly walked in and said, "Big senior sister, Blood Sea sect, Mountain Sea sect, and the Blood Refinement sect have all been massacred. It should be Long Fei who did it." Yi Xian's brows tightened and said, "Why isn't he here yet? Tomorrow is the last day." Could it be that he wants to helplessly watch senior sister marry Hong Tianjun? Xiao Tiantian also muttered, "That's right, tomorrow is the final day. You scoundrel, if you still don't come, then senior sister." Xiao Tiantian was also incomparably anxious. On the other hand, she was incomparably calm as she looked at Lu Luoshi and said faintly while looking at the night sky, "I hope that you won't come. You definitely won't." She was still holding onto the ball of paper, the paper Long Fei had drawn with a smile on his face and the demonic core. She kept it. At this moment, the aura in the yard rippled and a figure landed. Hong Tianjun equals half carat float hashtag life carat. A figure landed on the ground. Everything in the courtyard was instantly crushed. Xiao Tiantian. Yi Xian's face became incomparably pale. Lu Luoshi stood up, stared at the figure, and asked, "What are you doing here?" Chapter 48_8419/2356832. War King Realm, Hong Tianjun. War King Realm, Hong Tianjun. However, compared to the previous Hong Tianjun, Lu Luoshi felt that there was a strange aura on his body, It was like the aura of a devil. Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly. Her figure flashed and landed in front of Lu Luoxi, just a few centimeters away from him. Hong Tianjun took a deep breath of Lu Luoxi's scent and laughed sinisterly. It smells so good. Lu Luoxi's body started to tremble. Xiao Tian said with difficulty, "Senior fellow apprentice Hong, what are you trying to do?" Yi Zian also loudly said, "Senior fellow apprentice Hong, you are too presumptuous." Bang bang. Hong Tianjuan's gaze turned and an aura rushed out like a ferocious beast, directly smashing both Xiao Tian and Yi Zian and sending them flying. Smashing into the wall of the courtyard, both of them spat out a mouthful of blood at the same time. His face became even paler. Just one idea was enough to send two people from the War Emperor realm flying. The War King's power was too strong. Xiao Tian could not accept it. He crawled up and was about to curse. Lu Luoxi shouted, "Junior sister apprentice, you guys go first." Senior apprentice sister. Yi Zian climbed up with difficulty. Lu Luoxi said, "Take little junior sister apprentice away from here. I will be fine. Hurry up." The current Hong Tianjun was no longer the Hong Tianjun of before. She could feel the killing intent in Hong Tianjuan's heart. As long as Xiao Tian and Yi Zian dared to go against each other, they would be killed by him. Now, in the entire South Horizon region, who could stop him? No one. Yi Zian supported Xiao Tian out of the courtyard. Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly. "Not bad. Being able to sense that I am harboring a killing intent. Seems like your years of cultivation have not been in vain." Lu Luoxi said coldly. "Hong Tianjun, is that all you've come to say?" Hong Tianjun said, "What's wrong? Can I see my fiancé?" Lu Luoxi clenched his fists. Hong Tianjun looked at her and said, "You won't forget what you promised me, right?" Lu Luoxi said, "I will definitely do what I promised you, but tomorrow is the day of our wedding." "Haha, is there any difference?" Hong Tianjun laughed wildly, then suddenly thought of Long Fei. He laughed in contempt. "Are you thinking of some kind of trash, a dragon, to save you? Do you think he can save you?" Lu Luoxi's body was trembling. In her heart, she was also asking herself, even if Long Fei comes, can he save me? The abusive image of Hong Tianjun that year replayed in her mind. These 3 years, Long Fei had indeed improved his mental state. However, Hong Tianjun was even faster. With the help of the High Elder of God Emperor Academy, his cultivation speed was like that of a demon. He had only thought of this once. It was very obvious that Long Fei had not yet reached War King. How could he be a match for Hong Tianjun if he had not yet broken through to War King? Absolutely impossible. Seeing that Lu Luoxi did not speak, Hong Tianjun laughed disdainfully and said, "Do you know why I like you? That's not right. More accurately speaking, why should I insist on marrying you? That's because those things that people are fighting over are good stuff. Furthermore, since I was young, no one would dare to fight over things with me. Dragon trash is the first. Therefore, if he dares to come, I will definitely let him die in front of you." Believe it, what a beautiful scene, huh? Hong Tianjun laughed wildly. In his eyes, Lu Luoxi was just a thing. Someone wants to snatch it from him, then he would never let go. Lu Luoxi's body trembled even more violently. The pressure of the War King realm was constantly suppressing her mind, and she almost couldn't take it anymore. Hong Tianjun laughed. "Don't worry, I won't kill you. Even if I'm tired of playing, I won't kill you. You will become my plaything, an eternal plaything." "Ha!" He could not stop laughing wildly. Hong Tianjuan's figure suddenly disappeared amidst the laughter. The moment he disappeared, Lu Luoxi's body suddenly sank and fell to the ground. His entire body was drenched in sweat. His clothes were drenched, and he was sweating cold sweat. The War King was too strong. Lu Luoxi looked at the night sky. The piece of paper in her hand was tightly clenched. She did not know what to do, but she felt a tearing pain in her heart, and she wanted to cry. But she couldn't cry. She wanted Long Fei to save her. However, she was really afraid that the image of the Fireglass City would repeat itself. This time, she was even more afraid that Long Fei would die. It had been an incomparably long night. It was New Year's Eve, but not many people laughed happily that night. Father, everything is ready. According to Long Fei's plan, we have already released the steel mixture. There are still 100 left. Long Zhanhai walked into the tent. Long Sanfeng looked at the threads on the table, which Hong Wanta had just sent over. Long Sanfeng exhaled and asked, "Is there any news from Xiao Fei?" Long Zhanhai shook his head. "No, it's as if he disappeared again. However, Father, you don't have to worry about Xiao Fei. He definitely has something more important to do." And Long Sanfeng was clear of this as well. This time, all of the Long family's elites had arrived. Even if Long Fei doesn't appear, he would seek justice for his grandson as a grandfather, to take back his wife. At this moment, grandfather, a girl came into the tent. Jojo, a sweet, beautiful girl that no one could find any flaws in, a girl as beautiful as a fairy. In the past, it was hard to tell when she was young, but after 3 years, she had already grown into a big girl, and the beauty on her body finally seemed to have grown explosively. Long Sanfeng said happily, "Jojo, my grandson's wife." Jojo's face reddened and said, "Grandfather, you're bullying me again. Who dares to bully big sister Jojo?" Another girl walked into the tent. One of them was full of wildness, like a wild leopard. Her body exuded a wild charm. The leopard girl. She was still wearing her leopard print mask and her leopard print mask, both of which could tempt dead people. Little sister leopard. Jojo grabbed the leopard girl, looked at her chest, and said, "She's bigger again." On the other hand, the leopard girl laughed. "Sister Jojo, yours is big too." Inside the tent, even Long Sanfeng's forehead was covered in black lines. The leopard girl asked, "Where is big sister Shadow?" A shadow flashed within the tent, and an incomparably cold shadow appeared. Little sister leopard. Long Sanfeng and Long Zhanhai trembled, and even they did not sense the existence of a shadow. At this time, Long Shan walked in and said, "Patriarch, there is a young man outside who claims to be a god. S. Water King Kong who wishes to meet you." "God, S. Water King Kong? Who is it?" Long Shan said. He said that his name is Lin Yusheng, and he is the young master's brother. He said that he comes from the God Emperor Academy. It was also at this time, Meng Yu also walked into the tent and said, "Patriarch, there are 3 people at the North Gate who wish to meet you. They call themselves Holy King Kong, demons subduing Vajra, and a child who claims to be a Yuling guardian warrior. They also said he is the young lord's brother." Long Yin walked in and said, "There are 2 disciples from Xianjian's sect who wish to meet you." Long Lei also walked in and said, "Patriarch, there are 2 old geezers from the devil's sect. They claim to be from Lonely Spirit Wild Ghost, and they wish to seek an audience." Patriarch, more than 400 female disciples of Evil Sound sect seek an audience. All of a sudden, everyone was here. At this moment, the sky brightened. It was the first day of the new year. Clan Congress's day had also come. The day of Hong Tianjuan's wedding had also arrived. #/float *life. The appointment of 3 years had arrived. And at this time, Long Fei was rushing to the Heavens sect. Chapter 5. Thank you for your support. It's coming. The sea itself is excited. 8_8419/2356833. The auspicious hour has arrived. The auspicious hour has arrived. Clan Congress will now enter. The voice of an old eunuch echoed throughout the sect. Outside of the martial arts practice square, the heads of the various sects were waiting one after another. Hearing the sound, all the sect heads smiled and said, "It has begun. Enter." Entering the competition was also done in accordance with the order in which the powerhouses entered. Some of the smaller sects did not dare to be the first to enter. Where's the pavilion master Hong? He should be the first to enter, right? Hong Wantu was not the first to appear. At this time, no one dared to be the first to enter the martial arts practice grounds. Whoever entered the martial art practice grounds would be offending the Chao Tian sect, and they wouldn't be able to afford the consequences. No doubt about it. Right now, The Heaven Sect was the strongest, adding the War King, who would dare to fight against Hong Tianjun. After waiting for a whole 10 minutes, Hong Wan still did not appear. With Nantian Sect as the leader, the few major sects were very unhappy and said, "What are you putting on airs for us to have waited so long? Is the realm of War King amazing? He is obviously from the Heaven Sect. I don't believe that he will be late, and that he will be late to deal with matters on the doorstep." Sect Master Situ. According to strength, Nantian Sect is not weak, but his disciples are far superior to the Sky Sect. You're right. The other sect leaders did not dare to speak. Other than the Heaven Sect, Nantian Sect was the strongest, and Nantian Sect had been training in the mountains for the past year. This time, if Sidu Hao dared to come, he would be fully prepared. Sidu Hao laughed faintly and said, "Sigh. Although I, Nantian Sect, am not weak, this is sect leader Hong's place, and we should pay our respects to him. But we've waited so long and still haven't seen Pavilion Master Hong come out. This really isn't a form of hospitality to the host." In the dark, Hong Wan's face turned cold and coldly snorted. "Situ Hao, who do you think you are?" 10 minutes passed. Everyone was getting impatient from waiting. Could the Pavilion Master Hong have entered? "We've already waited for almost half an hour. If this continues, will the Clan Congress still compete? Why don't we go in first? Sovereign Situ is the first one to enter. It's not yet your turn." Everyone looked at Situ Hao, and one of them said, "Sect Master Situ, please." Everyone was looking forward to it. Situ Hao was secretly pleased in his heart, and said, "All right, for the sake of the Clan Congress's normal progress, I will first go in and see what is going on." While they were talking, Situ Hao stepped into the training grounds, but before he even stepped foot inside, a cold snort came from afar. "Who is so rude? Shameless! Do you still think you're the sect master of the strongest sect? Why aren't you taking a piss? What kind of virtue do you have?" Situ Hao's expression was very ugly, both his fists tightly clenched, the anger in his heart surging. Hong Wan shouted, "Ah-san, don't be so rude. After all, he is Nantian Sect's sect master Situ." The word used was particularly strong. He wanted to humiliate Situ Hao, because back then he had also been humiliated by Situ Hao, and he wanted to take it back. "Everyone has been waiting for a long time. I spoke a little more with the elders of the God Emperor Academy just now, delaying Clan Congress's time. I'm really sorry." Hong Wanda laughed. He said he was sorry, but there was no sign of regret on his face. He was now the sect master of the strongest sect. He was also the father of the War King ranker, Hong Tianjun. Not to mention 20 minutes. Even if it were 2 hours, these people would still have to wait. All the sect heads had smiles on their faces. Pavilion Master Hong is too courteous. The elders in God Emperor Academy are naturally more important. What's the harm in us waiting a little longer? That's right. The future of Tianju is the most important. Being recruited by the God Emperor Academy. This is the fortune of the South Horizon region. It's fine to wait a bit longer. Hearing the words God Emperor Academy, they did not dare to complain in the slightest. Moreover, God Emperor Academy's elders were in the Heaven Sect, which made them even more fearful of the Heaven Sect. An elder of the God Emperor Academy, a ranker of the immortal domain, what a powerful existence. At the same time, a few people secretly looked at Situ Hao, and when they saw his body trembling uncontrollably, many of them started to laugh in disdain. Hong Wanta walked to Situ Hao's side and said with a faint smile, "Sect Master Situ, please step aside. What a good dog that doesn't block the path." "Sect Master Situ, this year you are not qualified to be the first to enter. It's better to stay at the side." "Ha!" Situ Hao's expression turned to the side again, his fists clenched tightly, his joints popping loudly. Although he was enraged, he still took a step back, revealing a smile. "Pavilion Master Hong, please." Ah-san laughed. "Good girl. She's like a good dog." "Ha ha ha." Hong wanted started to laugh out loud, and behind him, the other sect masters also started to laugh out loudly. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Situ Hao was so angry that his head was on fire again. However, however, he did not dare to do anything, and silently thought in his heart, "Just you wait, Hong Wantu. There will be a day when you kneel on the ground." After Hong Wana entered the arena, the other sect masters also began to continue entering. The huge martial arts practice field was filled with people. After the sect head entered the arena, there were now large clans and dynasties. These sorts of unorthodox powers had entered. Ordinary. These powers were all green leaves, acting as a foil. Nanyuli family. Hai Yuan Empire's Tang clan. Sea Shark Gang. One by one, the small sects entered the field. Finally, Yuan Long Dynasty, Long family. As soon as he finished, Hong Wantu's eyes turned sinister as the corner of his mouth revealed a cold smile, and he said, "He's finally here. Please come in." At this moment, Long Sanfeng brought the 4 great king-level, Xieyun, Jojo, the leopard girl, and a few other Long family disciples from Dragon Mountain into the competition grounds. There were 20 of them, and compared to the hundreds of other sects, they were a little weak. Haha, who are these people? Old man, child, woman, look, there are also demons here. This Long family is just a motley crew. They have all kinds of cats and dogs. Who said that it wasn't? Does this kind of force have the qualifications to enter the clan congress? Could it be because they stole the invitation? I heard that the Long family loves to do things like steal a chicken model dog the most. Even their throne was snatched away. How shameless. I strongly recommend that you expel this group of trash. This is Clan Congress, and won't be a place for trash like them to play monkey tricks. Baidu search. $health / many sect masters hooted because they wanted to show off their skills in front of Hong Wantu. Li Yuanba was immediately enraged, his eyes raging, lightning bolts crackling in his hands. At this moment, Long Sanfeng's eyes darkened slightly, signaling him not to act carelessly. Long Fei had not appeared yet, and the wedding ceremony had not started yet. Chapter 18_8419/2356834. Long Sanfeng took a step forward, revealed the smile of an old urchin, and said, "Pavilion Master Hong is the most clear on whether or not our invitation was stolen." Long Sanfeng took a step forward, revealed the smile of an old urchin, and said, "Pavilion Master Hong is the most clear on whether or not our invitation was stolen." Of course, if you want to say that we stole the invitation, then it must have been. Anyways, my Long family will definitely not snatch the invitation from some trash. If you want to snatch it from us, you have to snatch the invitation from the Chao Tian sect. Suddenly, the sect leader, who had just spoken, abruptly stood up and shouted, "Old thing, who did you say is trash? Do you dare to say that again? Trash, 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 trash. I'm talking about you. Trash. Is 5 times enough? If it's not enough, I'll give it to you 3 more times. Trash, trash, trash." Long Sanfeng had a smile on his face as he said, "I have never seen this kind of person before. I'm a piece of trash that must be spoken of." Trash. Puchi. Ha! Many people began to laugh. The sect master of the 10,000 Arts sect, Wang Wanfa, was extremely unhappy. He was so angry that he wanted to rush out and kill Long Sanfeng. Hong Wantu's voice sank as he said faintly, "Sect Master Wang." The anger in Wang Fa Ming's heart was suppressed as he said, "Pavilion Master Hong, this old thing is acting recklessly. I will definitely teach him a lesson." "Give my grandfather a lesson?" "That will depend on whether you have the qualifications." Jojo's eyes moved. The chi on his body became heavy, and an invisible force was released. It was a very special power. This power was like the might of a divine beast, but it was countless times stronger than a divine beast. Long Fei was not present. Jojo would never let anyone touch Long Sanfeng. Wang Wanfa's face turned sinister as he coldly snorted, "Pavilion Master Hong, you've seen it for yourself. A mere maid dares to be so presumptuous in front of me? If I don't show a little bit of mercy today, they will have gone up in the sky." Hong Wan slightly said, "I was the one who invited the Long family, and if you want to fight the Long family, then you're trying to make things difficult for me. Sect Master Wang, are you still going to continue? Wang Wanfa's face turned cold as he thought to himself. Didn't the Xiang Tian sect have enmity with the Long family? How could this happen? He also couldn't figure out what Hong Wanta was thinking. However, Wang Wanfa still cupped his fists and said, "Since you are an esteemed guest invited by Pavilion Master Hong, I naturally do not dare." Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Hong Wanta smiled and said, "If you want to challenge Long family, then do it as you please during disciple competition. Why are you so anxious? Right, you guys are the same. If you want to challenge Long family, you could do so later. I have read about ancient history before. Ancient records say that the Long family was once the strongest overlord, and even in the entire Sky Martial continent, he was still in existence that is absolutely an overlord. A clan of this level can naturally withstand your challenge. Long Sanfeng, am I right?" Hong Wanta proudly looked at Long Sanfeng and laughed coldly in his heart. "Old thing, you dare to be so arrogant in my territory. Watch how I play with you till you die." Long Sanfeng squinted his eyes. "Ha ha ha, so that's the case. Thank you, Pavilion Master Hong, for your reminder. I will definitely take good care of the old man later, so as to prevent others from saying that I'm bullying the old man. Ha ha ha." Wang Wanfa immediately burst into laughter. Clan Congress should eliminate the trash first. What used to be the overlord, and even claimed to be a Long family. I think it's better for us to just call him the Bug family. Ha! Countless sect masters in the hall laughed out loud. This made Long Sanfeng very unhappy. Li Yuanba, Arhut, Lin Yusheng, even the sky spirit was filled with rage. Since he had come, Long Sanfeng was prepared as he said faintly, "Welcome to the challenge." His heart ached as well. The Long family of the past was able to cause the entire Tianwu continent to tremble. The current Long family. At this moment, Hong Wan slightly said, "Long Sanfeng, I'm really sorry. I didn't know that so many people from your Long family would come, so the seats prepared weren't enough. You could just stand. If you feel uncomfortable standing, then just kneel." "Ha ha, stand still. I think we should just kneel. There are really too many people. There are 20 of them. It's really too big." Another round of mockery. Hong Wanta faced death by saying, "You want to oppose me? Just who are you to be qualified to be that kind of person? You still want to steal the bride? Humph, old thing, why don't you take a look at where this is?" Hong Wanta began to scorn her in his heart. At this moment, another family entered the venue. "We pay our respects to Pavilion Master Hong, and the sect leader is the best in the world." "Well said." Hong Wanta laughed and said, "Phone." Li Yuanba could not help but ask. They all had seats afterwards. Why didn't we? Hong Wanta laughed. "I'm sorry. I just arrived and you guys took a step back. I already said it. If you guys like to stand, then kneel. No one will mind." "Hoo hoo hoo hoo." Li Yuanba gritted his teeth, and the breath coming out from his nose became as hot as fire. "I'm so unhappy." Long Sanfeng pulled him back and said, "Yuanba, don't be anxious. There's still time to vent. The more they target us, the more calm we have to be. Do you understand?" Long Sanfeng was also unhappy in his heart, but he knew in his heart that he must stay calm and not cause Long Fei any trouble at this time. Everything was waiting for Long Fei. Moreover, more importantly, the Clan Congress had nothing to do with the Long family. Yes, their goal in coming to the Heaven sect wasn't to participate in some big sect competition, but to snatch the bride. Hong Tianjuan's wedding hadn't started yet, so they had to endure it. Arhut said, "Old Gramps, enduring like this is not a problem. When the Clan Congress starts, they will take turns to challenge us." "Surrender directly?" Lin Yusheng also said, "These people are going too far." The corners of the sky spirit's lips curled up as it revealed a sinister smile. "I just want to kill them all." Long Sanfeng's eyes slightly narrowed and said, "I'm not telling you to surrender. Just use one word from Xiao Fei to overturn his ancestors." He understood. "Lord Master, I've been waiting for these words of yours." The four King Kong's faces immediately broke out into smiles. It didn't matter if they stood there. It didn't matter if he mocked them. The four great King Kong would make them unable to laugh. Sister-in-law 1-/ plus health. Strongest upgrade system, Luluashi's courtyard. The Phoenix coronet had already been delivered. A few maidservants stood at the side quietly, waiting to help Luluashi put on his makeup. Xiao Tian rushed into the courtyard anxiously and said, "Big Senior, the Long family's people have arrived, but they are... I still haven't seen Long Fei." Chapter 28_8419/2356835. What time is it? What time is it? The fire is already on your eyebrows. Why aren't you coming? Did Long Fei forget? Yi Zian anxiously paced back and forth in the yard. Xiao Tian said, "Second senior sister, Long Fei will not forget. The people from the Long family are here. Jojo is here. Even the leopard girl is here. Long Fei will definitely not forget." She was so anxious that she was on the verge of tears. Luluashi said in a bland voice, "I hope he won't come. I hope he won't come." Yi Zian said, "Senior sister, what nonsense are you spouting? If Long Fei doesn't come, who will go against him? The 3-year agreement was spoken of well, and if he doesn't come, I won't forgive him for it in my entire life." Xiao Tian also replied, "I don't know how to." At this moment, one of the maidservants cautiously said, "Miss, it's getting late. We should..." Not waiting for her to finish, Yi Zian angrily said, "Why are you, a servant girl, so anxious? How many benefits did you receive from taking Hong Tianjun for you to be so anxious?" "Junior sister apprentice," Luluashi asked, then stood up, looked at the sky in the distance and muttered, "Long Fei, you must be fine." Finished. She turned around and entered the room. "Put on your makeup." All the sects and powerhouses of the martial arts arena were present. Hong Wanta pressed his hands together, and the entire audience quietened down. His face had a pleased smile and deliberately looked at Sidu Hao, then walked forward. "I feel that everyone can come from far away to the Heaven Sex Clan Congress to attend my son's wedding. Today is Clan Congress and also the wedding of my son. Clan Congress will have his wedding in the morning and his wedding in the afternoon. Whether it is the sects, clans, or sects that have lost, I wish to stay and drink a cup of wine." At this moment, the surrounding crowd was filled with the sound of flattery. "That's only right. Whoever loses will not be able to give me any face. Must be drunk today. Haha, it's time for a double celebration. We'll carry a big grandson next year. I hope that every year's Clan Congress S will continue to progress in the Heaven Sect." Hong Wanta really enjoyed this feeling. The smile on his face became even wider, and he said, "I won't waste my breath. Clan Congress, let's begin now. Let the Challenger League begin. Who's going first?" As soon as he finished, Wang Wanfa immediately stood up and said, "Pavilion Master Hong, fellow sect leaders, I, Wang Wanfa, am not here to fight for the ranking. However, I, Wang Wanfa, do not like the looks of the trash." And then, Wang Wanfa called out to a disciple beside him, "Wang Tong, Chua." A disciple flew up onto the stage, and with a wave of the blade in his hand, he pointed towards the direction of the Long family. "Come up and die." "I'll do it," Li Yuanba roared, and walked out from the crowd. Long Sanfeng reminded him, "Be careful." Li Yuanba walked step by step onto the stage. Wang Tong harumphed and said, "I've never killed a nameless person with my saber. What should I call you? Speak your name." Li Yuanba stood there without moving. The thick energy in his body suddenly stirred. Power rushed into his voice. Anger burst forth following suit, and he bellowed, "Listen carefully. My name is Li Yuanba. Rumble, rumble, rumble." These 3 words, one word at a time, one word at a time. The sound penetrated Wang Tong's heart and lungs, and suddenly exploded. As soon as his voice faded, on the stage, Wang Tong's eyes were bleeding, his nose was bleeding, his ears were bleeding, and his mouth was bleeding. Blood from the 7 orifices. Then, he fell back, heavily falling to the ground. Dead. The entire audience was in an uproar. A voice had shaken the War Master's Wang Tong to death, but he did not even make a single move. How powerful was the voice? TCH. Li Yuanba spat on Wang Tong's face, with a face full of disdain. I had thought that you were so strong. You died before the fight even started. If our long family is trash, then what are you? A trash bastard? Li Yuanba raised his gaze, stared at Wang Wanfa, and said, Weren't you yelling so loudly just now? Come up and play. Wang Wanfa's expression changed. The disciples behind him all had a drastic change in expression. The big man with the big coffin was too fierce. How preposterous! Wang Wanwu flew into a rage and slammed the table heavily. The table shattered into pieces as his body became a blur as he charged into the ring. At this moment, a wild saber moved. The blade chi started to wreak havoc crazily. 10,000 arts saber chi. I heard that the myriad arts sect's unique blade technique has reached the divine level. Then this big guy is definitely going to die. Everyone began to discuss. Move the blade. Li Yuanba opened up both his hands, lightning striking onto his palms in anger. He clenched his fist. The great spirit god's blood veins power was unleashed. The raging thunder hammer was covered with crackling lightning energy. Move. Li Yuanba saw through Wang Wanfa's landing point with one glance. With a move of his two hammers, his over 3 meters tall body, like a giant, smashed his hammers down heavily. At the same time, Wang Wanfa caught hold of the wild saber and swung both of his hands. He shouted, You dog, get down! Crack! Rumble! Under the scorching sun, a bolt of lightning struck down. The instant Wang Wanwu grabbed the wild saber, the lightning descended and linked to his saber. And then, crackle! A series of explosions sounded. A few seconds later, Wang Wanfa's bun exploded. His face was charred black, his clothes were tattered, and smoke was coming out of his mouth and nose. Her eyes turned white. He stood still for a moment. Li Yuanba raised his leg and kicked him down. Without even looking at him again, he swept his gaze across the place and laughed coldly. Who else? Wang Tong had been instantly killed. Wang Wanfa was also instantly killed. Who in the world was this guy with the coffin on his back? At this moment, there was complete silence. They were all shocked by Li Yuanba. After a long time, no sound came out. Li Yuanba wiped his nose and shouted, Trash? Who is the trash now? Damn it. Finished. Li Yuanba walked down the stage, looking disdainful. Second brother is awesome. Second brother is mighty. Second brother is domineering. Li Yuanba scratched his head, revealing a silly smile. He could do anything to others, but to brothers, he was just a silly looby. Hong Wantu's expression changed. He felt extremely unhappy. At this moment, another Grand Master stood up and said, Luli of the Qingyun sect. Chua, a disciple flew out. Equals semi/floating life plus. The disciple also looked in the direction of the Long family and said, I want a challenge. Not waiting for him to finish. Arhut put his hands together. Ba, let me. Without waiting for Arhut to come out, Luli moved his finger and said, I want to challenge that naked woman. Chapter 38_8419/2356836. I want to challenge that naked woman. I want to challenge that naked woman. As soon as he finished, Martial Arts Arena was in an uproar. No clothes. Why didn't I see it? Wow. The word naked was too alluring. However, in reality, the leopard girl's chest and waist were covered by someone. So if you looked at her from the stage, you wouldn't see even a little bit of her clothes. Arhut was stunned and turned to look at the leopard girl. And then Arhut shouted, Challenge women? You still have the nerve to do so? Luli sneered, What? Are you scared? If you are afraid, then don't bring a woman. If you are afraid, then scram to the sect. You, Arhut's gaze tensed up. The leopard girl giggled and said, Arhut Gidge, it's fine. If you want to challenge me, challenge me. When the leopard girl walked out, the surrounding men's eyes almost popped out. They stared at the hot body of the leopard girl and continuously swallowed their saliva. This woman is too charming. Whose woman is this? Look at the other two. They are both supreme beauties. The leopard girl walked up to the arena and said with a faint smile, "Let's begin." Luli was secretly delighted. "I can't beat that big guy, but can I beat you? A mere girl, and you're still wearing so little. Watch me strip you naked, huh?" Then, Luli's Adam's apple rolled as he smiled obscenely and said, "Take this." At this moment, a lance with runes on it shot out from thin air. Split into two, Luli's left and right eyes were pierced straight through. The force of the javelin sent him flying, and he was nailed to a tree tens of meters away. His eyes had ruptured, and his head was almost bursting from the force. His four limbs drooped down powerlessly. He was dead. Gudon. Many people swallowed their saliva. Their expressions became cold as their bodies abruptly shrunk. They no longer dared to look at the leopard girl. No one had noticed the two marks just now. Even the four great King Kong were stunned. They did not know how the leopard girl made the bid. Wasn't this too weird? The leopard girl still had a smile on her face as she said, "Who still wants to challenge me?" The leopard girl now was not the same leopard girl from 3 years ago. Previously, she could only grab the javelin from the void. But now, her javelins were able to be picked up without being seen. From the moment she came out, 2 javelins appeared in the air to the left and right of her body. From that moment on, the javelins shot out, 20 or so meters. If one had the least strength, he would ask whether he was afraid or not. In these 2 consecutive battles, Lin Ming had easily killed his opponent, not by defeating him, but by killing him. The expressions of the Qing Yun disciples changed slightly. The leopard girl giggled and playfully jumped off the stage. The leopard print barrier looked like it was about to fall off. However, no one was looking at her anymore. This woman was too fierce. At this moment, everyone was thinking, could it be that these 20 people in Long family are all demons? Was this big guy's violence and the leopard tattoo girl's ferocity really the strength of a defeated family? Long Sanfeng laughed. Hong Wantu's expression also darkened, becoming even more unsightly. "I won't believe a mere Long family like you." As soon as he finished, Hong Wantu stared at the sect leader of the Lu Yi sect. Lu Yi immediately stood up and said, "Lu Yi sect Lu Yi. Shua." One step landed on the stage. His gaze darkened, staring straight at the Long family. He said, "Long Sanfeng, come up and die." Li Yuanba was furious. Jojo was also enraged as he took a step forward. At this moment, Long Sanfeng stopped the 2 of them and said slightly, "I'm just a bad old man. Isn't it better to bully an old man like me like this?" Lu Yi laughed coldly. "Long Sanfeng, are you afraid? Get out of here if you're scared." Long Sanfeng laughed, then walked to the martial ground and said, "I'm afraid, I'm not afraid, but I'm afraid of people saying that I am bullying the weak, and that is not good." "Umph." Lu Yi Dao coldly snorted and said, "Long Sanfeng, your words are extremely useless. Hurry up." Suddenly, Long Sanfeng's figure disappeared from the martial arts arena. The dwarf's face sank. Suddenly, a person suddenly said, "The sky. There's a dragon in the sky." Roar! A violent dragon fell down from the sky. Before Lu Yi could react, he was stomped into a puddle of meat paste. Instant kill. Long Sanfeng transformed into a dragon. Roaring, he said solemnly, "You want to challenge my Long family? Come. Are you mocking my Long family for being a trash? Say more trash." Long Sanfeng's voice carried the might of a dragon as he stood on the stage with a dragon that could crush the entire arena. Dragon transformation. For hundreds of years, no one in the Long family had been able to enter the dragon transformation realm. But now, there was actually a powerhouse in the dragon transformation realm. "Come on." Long Sanfeng's voice sounded once again. This time, it was a complete crushing. The dragon's roar resounded in all 4 directions, leaving the plaza completely silent. Hong Wantu's eyes turned sinister as he laughed coldly. "What a beast. I never thought that people from the Long family could become beasts." Long Sanfeng's gaze darkened, and he stared at Hong Wantu. "Hong Wantu, are you unhappy? If you're not satisfied, come down and kill me." "So what if you're from the Heaven sect? So what if you're a God Emperor Academy? What can the realm of War King do? Bullying my grandson and humiliating my Long family? I don't care who you are. I'll still screw you over. His voice carried the power of a dragon's roar as it crazily shot out. Many sect masters on the plaza paled. Being crushed by Long Sanfeng's dragon aura made them feel somewhat uncomfortable. Hong Wanta sneered. Long Sanfeng, you're here to cause trouble? Long Sanfeng said arrogantly, and said, this old man is here to cause trouble. Hong Wantu, hand over my grandson's wife, and this matter will be passed over. Haha, I've always heard that the people of Long family are arrogant. Today, this room is really like this. However, Hong Wanta frowned, his voice suddenly changed, and he shouted, old fellow, you have come to the wrong place. This is the Heaven Sect. It is not a place for you beasts to behave so atrociously. Hualong is very arrogant, isn't he? I'll let you experience the strength of a sect. As soon as he finished, boom, an old man rushed out, floating above Long Sanfeng's head like a ghost. It was also at this moment. Both his fists moved, punching out explosively. Boom, boom. He threw 2 punches at the tyrant dragon's head. Boom. The entire stage exploded, and Long Sanfeng's body immediately changed into his human form. The entire audience was in an uproar. Power of the War God. An expert of the War God realm. I never thought that other than the genius Hong Tianjun and sect master Hong Wantu, there are also experts from the War God realm. Now, those people from the Long family are going to become dead dogs, huh? Let's see how they can still act so arrogantly. Carrot, half, /float, * life. The old man's face was filled with contempt as he sneered. Someone from the Long family? A piece of trash who couldn't even withstand a single blow. Jojo shouted loudly, grandfather. With a flick of his head, he said, I'll do it. Without waiting for him to rush out, Lin Yuxing said, where a child like you should come from. I'll go first. Chapter 48_8419/2356837. The Clan Congress became the first round of the Long Family Great Assembly. The Clan Congress became the first round of the Long Family Great Assembly. The first few were merely small fry sects, second-rate sections. Now, the man from the Sky sect made his move, and the moment he made his move, he was an expert of the War God realm. Dongfang Xiong, the great elder of the Heaven sect, the uncle of the great elder Dongfang Hai. Trash is trash. Even if you turn into an animal, you're still trash. Dongfang Xiong scoffed coldly, extremely arrogant. At this moment, Long Sanfeng changed his appearance into that of an honored warrior. With blood trickling down from the corner of his mouth, he stared at Dongfang Xiong, who was in mid-air, and sneered. Is the War God realm so weak? You're courting death. Dongfang Xiong was enraged. He clenched his right hand, and a long sword appeared in his hand, thrusting straight at Long Sanfeng. Long Sanfeng was not afraid at all. His entire body was covered in dragon scales. At this moment, Lin Yuxing's figure fell, his body exploding with a burst of water energy. Walala! The water in the surrounding air was quickly sucked out, forming a wave that directly enveloped Long Sanfeng's body. Buzz! Dongfang Xiong's sword actually could not penetrate through it. At this moment, Lin Yuxing's body released yet another wave of power, causing the sky to suddenly sink. Power of heaven. Press. Boom. A thick and powerful energy came crashing down and directly crushed Dongfang Xiong to the ground, kneeling right in front of Long Sanfeng. Long Sanfeng laughed out loud. He rushed forward and ruthlessly slapped Dongfang Xiong in the face. Fuck you. Is the War God realm powerful? Ha! It was incomparably loud. Everyone present was shocked. Moreover, without waiting for Dongfang Xiong to react, Long Sanfeng slapped him again. Continue being arrogant. Pa's mouth was bleeding from his slap. Awesome. The old tutor is too awesome. He's even more powerful than boss. Li Yuanba was extremely excited. To be able to slap Dongfang Xiong in such a situation, only the people of Long family would do something as crazy as this. Dongfang Xiong was furious. No one had ever dared to touch him, let alone slap his mouth in front of so many people. The anger in his heart instantly reached its peak, and he roared loudly, "Long Sanfeng, I'll kill you." Lin Yusheng frowned as an even stronger power came crashing down from between his eyebrows. It was with much difficulty that he managed to stand up, and he was even forced to kneel on the ground, breaking the thick stone tiles on the ground. The sounds of kneecaps shattering could be heard. Lin Yusheng said, "Old Gramps, just do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do." Long Sanfeng laughed excitedly and said, "Dongfang Xiong, why don't you try again?" "Pa!" Yi Zichen slapped him. "Come on, kill me." "Pa!" Another slap came down. Lin Yusheng laughed. "Hong Wan too. I've been standing here for so long. I'm used to it. I'm also a member of the Long family. My elder is shouting Long Fei." The students of the God Emperor Academy actually took Long Fei as their boss. Was this person's brain being funny? This was the God Emperor Academy. In the eyes of many, Lin Yusheng being Long Fei's friend was just a coincidence that he appeared. Unexpectedly, he really is Long Fei's little brother. A student of the God Emperor Academy becoming Long Fei's little brother? It was too hard to understand. Hong Wantu was secretly shocked in his heart. "Long Fei, it looks like I have really underestimated you." And then, Hong Wantu's face turned cold, his eyes filled with killing intent, and said, "Since you don't know what's good for you, then don't blame me for being rude. Kill!" Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 flying shadows rushed out from behind Hong Wantu's chair, hovering at the 3 sides above him. All 3 of them were War God realm. Other than that, the 3 of them had another similarity. They looked exactly the same. Hong Wantu's 3-phase contestant, Situ Hao, was extremely shocked. He never thought that the Heaven Sect would have so many War God realm rankers in just a few years. http:// compared to the War God realm S, Nantian sect was much weaker. Hong Wantu sneered. "I want to see how your unformed comprehension ability will withstand my 3-phase assassination." Cluck, cluck. The man shook his head and muttered, "Now it's my turn, right?" Chapter 5. 8_8419/2356838. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Eldest senior sister. Eldest senior sister. Incredible. Incredible. Xiao Tian was elated as she rushed into her room in a hurry. Seeing that Lu Luoxi was almost done with his makeup, she became extremely beautiful, but there was a hint of worry in her eyes. Yi Zian said, "Long Fei is here?" Xiao Tian said no. Lu Luoxi's heart had also slightly sunk. Yi Zian said, "Why are you so happy that Long Fei is not here?" Xiao Tian said, "Long Fei did not come, but his brothers are all here. Do you know who his brothers are?" "Who is it? Could it be that there are people from the God Emperor Academy?" Yi Zian shouted. Xiao Tian was startled and said in shock, "Second senior sister, how did you know?" "They are people from the God Emperor Academy. Do you know what his name is?" "Call me Boss Long Fei." Everyone in God Emperor Academy calls him Boss Long Fei. Long Fei is really too handsome, huh? Yi Zian was stunned. Lu Luoxi was the same. In their hearts, the God Emperor Academy was too sacred. It was the warrior temple. For Lu Luoxi, this was even more so. Hong Wanjian was accepted by the God Emperor Academy, and it was even more so when a gigantic boulder pressed down on his heart. But now, the student of God Emperor Academy was actually Long Fei's little brother. Yi Zian became excited too, and said, "That way, even if Long Fei doesn't come, he will still be able to crush Sect Master?" Xiao Tian said happily, "It's more than just crushing my body. It's simply masochistic. You didn't see that scene? Each stronger than the last." And even Dongfang Xiong was slapped on the ground by Grandfather Long several times. The leopard girl, Jojo, and the big fellow carrying the coffin are all too powerful. They can crush the entire clan congress. This is too exciting. Xiao Tiantian's blood was boiling as he spoke. Looking at the 2 maids who were still putting on makeup for Lu Luoxi, he said, Why are you still putting on makeup? Hee hee. Although that scoundrel hasn't come, his brother has come. Let's do it again and again. However, Xiao Tiantian's eyes were filled with fantasy. I think that Long Fei will definitely come, and he will definitely make his debut. He finished. Xiao Tiantian said again. Wait for my news. I'll go watch it again. I'm so excited. Then, Xiao Tiantian ran out like a gust of wind. Only Lu Luoxi and Yi Zian were left behind. In another place, martial arts arena. A little more than a year had passed. Lin Yoxing's cultivation in the God Emperor Academy had advanced by leaps and bounds. In the past, he wasn't a match for the War Emperor realm at all. However, at the same time, he can't defend against 3 warlord elites. However, he wasn't afraid. Lin Yuxing said, come. In the Yuling Island, he had learnt from Long Fei that there was a will that was not afraid of death. Because if you're afraid, you will lose your whole life. It was at this moment. Hong Wanta bellowed and said, kill. All 3 of them moved at the same time, moving in a frenzy. Their appearances were the same, and they were dressed in the same way. When they moved, they looked like tens of thousands of human figures moving. Next, the sky and the ground were all filled with the shadows of 3 phase figures. Dying! With a shout from the air, the voices of the 3 people sounded out at the same time. The 3 swords cut through the void and directly aimed towards Lin Yoxing's throat. Too fast. Too many. It was too similar that Lin Yuxing was unable to use the power of his domain to deal with the 3 of them at the same time. He continued to retreat. At the same time, the intimidating aura he was releasing also secretly relaxed. Dongfang Xiong suddenly stood up. At this moment, the white-haired old man who had been knocked away by his domain power also rushed over. Old man, quickly retreat. Lin Yuxing reminded as the space between his eyebrows tightened and the power of water in his body increased explosively. Dongfang Xiong roared like a mad lion. The crushing pressure on his body disappeared as his fury exploded. He glared at Long Sanfeng and said, I want to kill you. Long Sanfeng did not retreat, nor did he avoid it. Instead, he shouted with a darkened face. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Come on. Roar. The blood-colored scales on his body flashed with a cold light, and the dragon bloodline blood vein began to boil. His body was constantly evolving. This time around, dragon transformation was completely different from before. The aura on his body carried the true strength of the dragon's blood. In the moment between life and death, the sky darkened. The baleful Yin force suffused the air, and the surrounding temperature suddenly dropped by 12 degrees, causing one to be unable to refrain from trembling. This cold came from the depths of his heart. At this moment, ah-ha-ha, an eerie, strange laugh sounded out. Then, a ray of purple mist spread out, and the sky spirit's hands formed into claws. The purple-black flame rolled in his hands, and he laughed sinisterly. It's finally my turn, right? Shwa! He moved. His body pierced through the white warrior. The white warrior's body turned into charcoal, and then cracked as pieces of his body fell to the ground. Then, yet another movement. Shwa! One of the 3 figures fell to the ground. He had turned into black charcoal, just like the white warrior. Swish, swish. A speed that defied the will of the heavens, and a speed as fast as 3 phases. Compared to a heavenly spirit, it was too weak. The 4 of them were almost completely finished off in a second. Moreover, they were all turned into ashes, falling to the ground. Let alone resisting. They didn't even know what resistance was. The elixir floated in the air, laughing out loud like a child. Who else? It was also at this time. Dongfang Xiong still had not reacted. He was rushing towards Long Sanfeng. The heavenly spirit idea sunk. Bam! Dongfang Xiong's face paled, and he kneeled on the ground with a thump, as though his body was being crushed by millions of kilograms of power, and a deep crater appeared in the ground. This time, all the joints in his legs shattered into fine powder. It was also at this time. Long Sanfeng slapped him hard again. You're still being arrogant? Pa! Dongfang Xiong could not take it anymore. as his neck was snapped and his entire head was slapped off by long sand foam, rolling down to Hong Wanta's feet. The entire audience was stunned. The sky spirit laughed coldly as his voice suddenly turned heavy. "Who is the trash now? Who is it?" Zhang Xian raised his voice once more and swept his gaze across the crowd. Hong Wantu's body was trembling as he stared at the Holy Spirit. This kind of pressure from the power of the dose was too unbearable for him. His lips trembled as he asked, You, just who are you?" The corner of his mouth drew back and he said, "Body of evil, I come from hell. My name is Sky Spirit." In addition, the heavenly spirit became excited. "My old name is Long Fei." It was a very proud expression. At this moment, everyone's scalps went numb. It was Long Fei's little brother, another monster. Moreover, this was even more terrifying. It came from hell. "What's the situation?" He was also roaring when a figure floated down. Hong Wantu's face shook. The other sect heads were also stunned. Young Master Tianju. Hong Tianjun took the stage. Chapter 6, plus one more chapter. Thank you for your monthly tickets. The sea is extremely grateful. 8_8419/2356839. He wore white clothes that made him look like an immortal. He wore white clothes that made him look like an immortal. His aura stirred. A series of crushed sounds resounded in the air. Bam! Lin Yusheng fell down. Bam! The sky's spirit also descended back to the ground, its eyes glinting with a malevolent light. Hong Tianjuan's feet moved about. He landed on the stage. His eyebrows revealed a trace of evil. His gaze swept across the entire area and said, "Even you trash dare to behave so atrociously in the Heaven sect?" A simple sentence. However, yet in everyone's hearts, it was like a thunderclap that exploded. Long San Feng, who was standing closest to her, was even more unable to endure it as he vomited a mouthful of fresh blood. The disciples of the surrounding sect masters all revealed faces of shock. The power of the War King. Is this the power of the realm of the War King? Even the sound of his voice could be heard. The power that made him tremble. Young Master Tianju, the #1 talent of the South Horizon region, really isn't for show. He's too strong. How can the Long family and the rest still act so arrogantly now? The surroundings were filled with soft discussions. Siduhao's expression was also very ugly. He had always suspected that Hong Tianjun had broken through to War King, but now he saw that he had completely given up. Too monstrous, too monstrous. However, when he saw the look in Hong Tianjuan's eyes, his heart went cold. Demon. It wasn't because he sensed the devil aura on Hong Tianjuan's body, but was because of that look in his son's eyes the moment he used his body to cultivate his devil powers. The look in Hong Tianjuan's eyes was much firmer than his son's, and the devil was also much stronger. Siduhao thought in his heart, could it be that when Hong Tianjun broke through to War King, he went berserk? Or perhaps has his inner demon entered his body? If that's the case, Siduhao laughed coldly in his heart. He sat on the chair and looked at the Heaven sect and Long family biting each other. To him, the harder the bite, the better. Moreover, the energy that erupted from the Long family shocked him. Everyone was exceptionally valiant, and all the experts from the War God realm were completely crushed. After this series of battles, Long family had won against the Heaven sect. This was something no one expected. "He is Hong Tianjun," Jojo said softly. She wanted to walk out, but Li Yuanba stopped her and said, "This is a man's matter. All you women need to do is watch from the side." At this moment, Li Yuanba walked out, and the Arhut walked out as well. Longshan walked out with the Long family disciples. Other than Jojo, the leopard girl still had shadows hidden in the darkness. All the people from Long family were gathered on the main stage. Haha. Hong Tianjun laughed coldly. Li Yuanba gave off a savage aura and said, "I heard that you're the one who wanted to snatch a woman from our boss." Hong Tianjun looked at Li Yuanba and did not say a word. Li Yuanba had a straightforward personality. He walked forward and said, "Brat, you'd better scram to the side." If you dare to smash our boss's woman, this daddy will kill you. Tianling gently reminded him. Second brother, this person is not simple. He could not even withstand the pressure from the War King realm expert earlier, and that was not Hong Tianjuan's true strength either. Li Yuanba said, regardless of how simple it is, you dare to snatch our sister-in-law, then you cannot. Long Sanfeng steadied his body, looked at Hong Tianjun who was on the stage, and his heart tensed up. War King realm, this was the power of the War King. Unendurable existence. However, the people of the Long family were fearless and would not retreat. Back then when Long Fei was crushed to that state in Fireglass City, he had to take revenge today. In that instant, Long Sanfeng's voice sunk as he said, Hong Tianjun, you trashed my grandson 3 years ago. Today, either you kneel down and apologize, then let go of my grandson's wife, or... Long Sanfeng's gaze swept the entire area. His voice was deep and mighty. Or, I will massacre your entire clan. Hong Wanda suddenly shouted, Long Sanfeng, do you really think that the Long family is a former Long family? You think you can go against the rules after killing a few of my war god elders? Saying such a thing made Hong Wanda extremely unhappy. Right now, the Heaven Sect was the #1 sect in the entire South Horizon region. It would not weaken just because of the deaths of a few War God Realm elders. Hong Tianjun laughed blandly. You want to massacre my Heaven Sect, right? Come on, let me see. Since today is the Clan Congress, how about this? All of you Long family's people come here. I'll settle all of you in one go. It was plain and bland. There was not a single ripple in his words. Even if Long Sanfeng had said something like that, he would not be the least bit angry, because he ignored them. Long Sanfeng and the rest did not enter Hong Tianjuan's eyes at all. They were not even qualified to be looked down upon by Hong Tianjun. The highest realm of contempt was disregard. Boom! Li Yuanba smashed his twin hammers together and said, I'll do it. He took a step forward. The god power in his body seemed to explode as it increased explosively. The furious thunder moved as if it was connected to the power of thunder and lightning. His entire body was filled with lightning. A hammer smashed down. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Everywhere the hammer went, there were endless explosions of thunder. This power was too powerful. Everyone was dumbfounded. Previously, when they killed the 10,000 Art Sect Master, they didn't even have a tenth of his strength. Hong Tianjuan's gaze did not even move. His index finger moved slightly. Buzz! Boom! The moment his fingertips made contact with the furious lightning, a powerful shockwave was released. The strength stripes that was visible to the naked eye shot out and covered the entire plaza. Moreover, at this moment, the thunder of rage could not be stopped. It was as if he was stuck in a trap. I'll do it. In that instant, the Arhut moved. The Holy Buddha's power inside his body hummed explosively. His body emitted Buddhist light beams. The King Kong exorcism wand his hands transformed into a demonic energy. Boom, boom, boom. His body also looked like 18 bronze men. With 4 flashes of golden light, his strength had been raised to the limit as he smashed towards Hong Tianjun. Buzz. Hong Tianjuan's left hand moved, and also used a finger to directly hold back all of the Arhut's power, and then dispel it. I'll do it. Lin Yuxing moved his steps as if he was flying, and in that instant, the water on his back tumbled up like an enormous wave, surging up violently. A fiendish look appeared on his forehead. The energy in his body burst forth. With a flip of the huge wave, it immediately enveloped Hong Tianjun and let out a deep roar, water domain. His domain energy had also reached its limit. Equals half carat float, hashtag life carat, but Hong Tianjuan's figure had an extra 1, and with the same finger, he inserted it into Lin Yuxing's domain of water, completely sealing off the power of his domain. I'll do it. With a move of the spirit of heaven, he leapt into the air and dispersed the purple-black flames covering the sky. He raised the power of the dose to its limit as he used both of his hands to form claws and pierce downwards. Chapter 18_8419/ 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, 4, 1. The 4 King Kong, moved at full power. The 4 King Kong, moved at full power. Every one of them is an existence that can crush war gods. However, his opponent now was War King, the Hong Tianjun, who was reputed to be the #1 genius of the South Horizon region. Seeing how each and every one of them had exploded their power as they charged towards Hong Tianjun, everyone in the plaza was incomparably shocked. Just what kind of power were these? These people had never heard of where Long Fei found these monsters before. Their strength was simply too great. However, Hong Tianjun's power was even more terrifying. 3 people attacking, 3 fingers of slay. This power was simply invincible. Hong Wantu's face was filled with excitement. The disciples of the Heaven Sect were cheering for him. The young master is mighty. The young master is mighty. His voice was deafening as he watched the heavenly spirit carrying the monstrous purple flame descend from the sky. Hong Tianjun raised his gaze slightly. The other hand of the second figure moved slightly as he muttered a word, "Break!" Buzz! His finger accurately pierced the space between the eyebrows of the celestial spirit. Powerful energy surged. It was like a grade 1 wind blowing away all the purple flames on the back of the sky spirit. In just half a second, the Mi Tian purple flame disappeared into nothingness. No more. The 2 figures superimposed over each other. For directions, breaking through one person with 1 finger, the power of the 4 great Vajra was completely broken apart by Hong Tianjun with a single finger. Too strong. Hong Tianjun smirked and revealed a cold smile. Is this what you call the bloodbath sect? That kind of force that would make me kneel? He can't even withstand a single blow. Just as Hong Tianjun's voice fell, the power on his fingers trembled slightly. Scram! His fingertips were like a beam of light, dazzling everyone as 4 streams of power shot out. Boom! Boom, boom, boom. For violent sounds rang out, directly sending the 4 flying. Rumble! 100 meters away, a wall was smashed into ruins. The same thing happened in the other 3 directions, and every single person was blasted 100 meters away by the power of Hong Tianjun's finger. What a powerful existence this was. It was also at this moment. The 2 phantoms on his body merged together and transformed back into his original form. Too strong. My mind is trembling. This is the power of the War King, my God. Too strong. In the entire South Horizon region, who is his match? As long as Hong Tianjun does not fall, he will forever become the #1 sect in the entire South Horizon region. Nantian sect unifies the South Horizon region and is unstoppable. I thought those people from the Long family were very strong, but compared to young noble Tianju, they are nothing. The crowd burst into discussion. In their hearts, Hong Tianjun was already a god, an existence that could not be shaken. It was the same in Sidu Hao's heart. Even if he could see through Hong Tianjun's heart demon, he would not be able to shake such a power. Hong Wanta laughed out loud. This was the effect he wanted. Who would dare to oppose the Heaven Sect now? Who else would dare? Hong Tianjun stared coldly at Long Sanfeng and laughed. Old man, is this the power of your Long family? Too weak. Long Sanfeng's body was trembling. The bodies of Long Shan and the Long family disciples were also trembling. Just Hong Tianjun's voice was already unbearable to them. How could they fight? Hong Tianjun laughed. Why hasn't that trash grandson of yours appeared yet? At this moment, the surrounding crowd was filled with the sound of flattery. That trash Long Fei must be afraid. If he had come, he would have become a corpse by now. Ha ha! Long Fei, that cowardly turtle, useless trash. Hong Tianjun sighed and ignored him. 3 years ago, I stepped on your grandson and made him into a dog. If he dared to come today, he would have turned into a dead dog. You want to steal my woman? Hong Tianjun's eyes turned sinister. The devil heart in his body shook, and even his voice changed a bit as he shouted, "He doesn't even have the qualifications. Tell him to be at ease." I will treat Lu Luashi as my plaything. She will only become my venting tool. Wah. The voice was filled with demonic music. Mad laughter rang out. The entire martial arts practice field was shaking, unable to bear the pressure of his laughter. Dozens of disciples were crushed to the point of vomiting blood. Hong wanted to not stop him, but instead revealed an excited smile. The more powerful his son's strength was, the happier he would be. Long Sanfeng's legs moved, and he directly inserted himself into the stone, stabilizing his body, and said solemnly, Hong Tianjun, don't worry, my grandson will definitely beat your shit out of you. He couldn't stand Hong Tianjun's laughter either. He inserted his legs into the ground to stabilize himself. Hong Tianjun stopped laughing. His eyes darkened as he stared at Long Sanfeng, laughed coldly, and said, if he dares to come, then he must die. And then, Hong Tianjun said in amusement, I heard that the people from your Long family never kneel to anyone, right? Today, I want to know how hard the bones of you Long family people are. As soon as he finished, Hong Tianjun glared at Longshan with his ice-cold eyes and said faintly, kneel. Longshan didn't move an inch. His body was even straighter than before. Bam! Behind him, the body of a Long family disciple exploded, the blood exploding all over Dragon Mountain, Long Sanfeng and the rest's face. Hong Tianjun said, kneel. Longshan gnashed his teeth and growled, kill me if you dare. Bam! Another Long family disciple's body exploded, and fresh blood spurted out. Hong Tianjun smiled faintly and said, but the bone is the winner. Kneel. Longshan couldn't bear it. His mind and his sea of consciousness couldn't even bear it. It was too painful. His heart burned with anger. Roar. His entire body was covered in scales. Dragon transformation. His entire person rushed towards Hong Tianjun and roared out, F***CK your 18 generations of ancestors. Hong Tianjun sneered, you overestimate yourself. With a flick of his finger, he pointed directly at Long Shan's forehead. It was also at this time. Long Sanfeng said solemnly, I kneel. Hong Tianjun was startled, then laughed out loud, and said, I thought that the Long family's bones were so hard, but it turns out it's only this much. He looked at Long Sanfeng and sneered, old thing, kneel. Long Shan roared loudly and said, Grandpa Long, don't kneel down to this beast. I'm not afraid of death. Long Sanfeng had no choice but to heavily kneel down. Grandfather, Jojo shouted loudly. Old master, ha, ha. The surrounding people all began to laugh. Long family would never kneel to anyone. This was the order of the ancestors of Long family. He did not kneel to the heavens, he did not kneel to the earth, and he did not kneel to anyone. Equals half caret float, hashtag life, caret the people of the Long family firmly believe that my life was left to me and not to the heavens. Long Sanfeng knelt down, attracting the ridicule of countless people. It was also at this time. Hong Tianjun sneered coldly. The power at the tip of his finger moved, and a surge of power pierced through Long Shan's head. Chapter 28_8419/2356843. Bam! Bam! The voice shook the entire arena into silence. Everyone was looking at Hong Tianjun. Long Sanfeng's eyes became bloodshot, and she stared straight at Hong Tianjun. You, why did you kill him? Huh? Why can't I kill him? Just because you knelt down for me? I didn't say that if you kneel down, I won't kill you. Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly. Old thing, your Long family's knees are only SOSO. As Long Sanfeng watched Long Shan slowly fall to the ground, blood frantically gushing out from the bloody hole in his head, his heart was filled with incomparable rage. At this moment, the remaining disciples all turned into dragons and charged toward Hong Tianjun. You're courting death, Hong Tianjun said coldly. Long Sanfeng shouted loudly, Don't. Bam, bang, bang. They all fell down, not even nearing Hong Tianjun's body at all. Even though they had reached the dragon transformation realm, Even though they possessed a bit of the dragon blood defense, the difference in cultivation between them and Hong Tianjun was simply too great. He couldn't stop it at all. Ha ha ha! Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly. Long family? That's more like it. Was the previous Long family very strong? At that time, if I was here, I would have stomped all of them into the ground, haha. Arrogant beyond compare. Hong Tianjun did not place anyone in his eyes. Anyone. While they were talking, Hong Tianjun's eyes became cold as he stared at Long Sanfeng. He laughed coldly. Old man, it's your turn now. Long Sanfeng stood up from the ground, looking at the dead Long family disciples around him. His heart felt like it was being stabbed by knives, although he had thought of this result before, but seeing this scene, his heart felt extremely uncomfortable. Long Sanfeng exhaled a deep breath. He consumed a medicinal pill, steel mixture. It was also at this moment that Long Sanfeng screamed, and the clothes on his body was instantly torn apart. Berserk Tyrannosaurus Rex. Open for me. Rumble. At the same time, in the midst of the ruins. Crack, crack, a few figures rang out. At the same time, they swallowed the steel mixture into their bodies, as their cultivation had not yet reached War God realm. Thus, they could use steel mixture S. Boom, 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 boom. Explosions erupted from the ruins. In the arena, Long Sanfeng had evolved into a violent dragon that was over 20 meters tall and covered in blood-red dragon scales all over, carrying an incomparably arrogant overlord power on its body. What he trained in was madness. Thus, he chose Tyrannosaurus Rex. During the days when Long Fei had left, he had continuously used the dragon blood from the level 22 ice and fire to refine it. The sect disciples in the plaza all turned pale with fright. Previously, the dragon was only 3 meters tall, but now it was over 20 meters tall. It was like a giant monster. They couldn't even compare to a toe of the berserk dragon. Hong Wanta's expression also slightly changed. Long family. Dragon transformation. I never thought that my strength has risen to this level in the past few years. Hong Tianjuan's brows tightened. He's turned into a beast again. Do the people of Long family really like to become animals? Roar. Long Sanfeng raged as he smashed his palm down. Hong Tianjuan's eyes opened wide, and the muscles in the corner of his eyes twitched, and with a move of his finger, he pushed it up. Rumble. The two forces clashed, and a deafening blast sounded. This time, Hong Tianjuan's fingertip did not resist, and his body slightly sank. Hong Tianjuan's face secretly changed. Not only did he transform into a dragon, he even increased his strength. Seems like the pill you took earlier had the effect of raising your cultivation. Long family is really amazing. However, Hong Tianjun raised his eyes and said coldly, in my eyes, your Long family has always been a group of useless trash. Chua! Hong Tianjun leapt into the air. With a move of his palm, he released the thick energy of the War King and placed his palm on Long Sanfeng's head. It was also at this time. Long Sanfeng moved his dragon claw and caught Hong Tianjun in his palm. Hong Tianjun sneered and said, too late. And at this moment, a voice rang out. Is that so? Heavenly water domain open. Boom! The skies seemed to be torn apart as monstrous water poured down. Lin Yoshing's body doubled in size, and the strength aura on his body increased by 3 realms. At first, he could only release the domain of water. However, he was now different. He was a god. Water King Kong, and the powers he released would naturally be one with the heavenly water. Walala! The enormous wave directly sucked Long Sanfeng and Hong Tianjun into the sky water domain, and Lin Yusheng became the ruler of this domain of comprehension. I'm trapped. With a move of his forehead, Lin Yusheng bound the power of all the domains around Hong Tianjun. It was also at this time. It's my turn. An eerie voice sounded out as the Holy Spirit of the heavens stepped into the heavenly water domain. His 5 fingers formed a claw as he shouted, 10,000 techniques of the Ghost Vein Lock. Boom! The purple flame from his 5 fingers directly entered Hong Tianjuan's body, locking his mind, consciousness, and pubes inside. They did not let Hong Tianjun have the slightest bit of power to release them. It's me. Chua, Arhut, rushed in. The King Kong exorcism wand in his hand roared. Holy Buddha's power, penetrate. Wong. The power in his body exploded out, forming a Buddhist light. The golden Buddhist light wrapped Hong Tianjun up and instantly entered into his body. At this moment, the surface of Hong Tianjun's skin was covered with Buddhist characters, as though they were some sort of scripture. Break through. Absorb all the defenses of his body. Rumble. A giant over 6 meters tall charged into the heavenly water domain. Li Yuanba's eyes shone with a sharp light. The muscles on his body tensed up to the extreme. In that moment, Li Yuanba bellowed, bedevilment. His eyes were bloodshot. The Titan God's power surged out crazily from his body. It's my turn, right? Li Yuanba moved his hammers. At this moment, the powers of Lin Yusheng, Arhut, and Sky Spirit converged into Li Yuanba's body at the same time. His body could absorb all the energy in his body and convert it into God power. The two hammers rose up like a huge axe splitting the sky. Li Yuanba's body strength seemed to have exploded as he slammed his head down onto Hong Tianjun's head. He roared, Uf****. Rumble, rumble, rumble. His voice shook the sky, and all of this happened in a short moment. 4 great diamond gigantic elephants. This should be the combined power of the 4 great Vajra body. Under the impact of Li Yuanba's hammer, Long Sanfeng retracted his dragon claw. Next, Li Yuanba was just like a madman. Each strike was fiercer than the previous one, and each strike was more brutal and faster than the previous one, exploding on top of Hong Tianjun's head. Is the realm of war king amazing? Arrogant, right? Is he cocky? You want to snatch my boss's woman? Hong Tianjun, you don't have the qualifications. http://f***CKU. From the sky all the way to the ground. The ground was once again blasted open, creating a deep crater of over 10 meters in length. The combined attack of the 4 great king-level entities was simply peerless. However, Chapter 38_8419/23568845. Diamond Fusion. Diamond Fusion. This was the first time they cooperated with each other, but it was extremely perfect. Lin Yosheng's domain's binding. The soul of a heavenly spirit. The Arhut's defense had been broken. Furthermore, with Li Yuanba's divine powers explosion, he had beaten Hong Tianjun to a pulp. From the sky to the ground, from the ground to the deep pit, Li Yuanba's divine power was unleashed to its limits, to be incomparably powerful. They exploded. Everyone was dumbfounded. Hong Wantu was the same, his face ashen, cold. The energy released by the 4 great King Kong was too strong. He was extremely worried. What kind of power? Weren't they crippled? My God! War King warriors. They were actually blasted into such a state. These 4 people are really heaven. Everyone was trembling in fear. How powerful a being was the War King? Just now, he had tortured and killed all 4 of them. But now it was the complete opposite. Boom! In the deep pit, a burst of violent strikes struck down like thunder, and Li Yuanba took the opportunity to jump out of the pit, spitting out a mouthful of saliva at the bloodied Hong Tianjun, and said coldly, "You want to show off with the flip of your face? You dare to steal my boss's woman? Huh." Very domineering. He didn't care about anyone else, but he didn't care who slandered Long Fei. Second brother is mighty. Second brother is domineering. Second brother is awesome. Ha-ha. The 4 of them started laughing at the same time. Just now, it was their ultimate strength that had violently beaten Hong Tianjun up. Li Yuanba's gaze swept across and shouted, "Long family is not something that you can take advantage of. What are you even worth? How dare you call my lord's family? Who the hell dares to say one more word? I, your father, will kill him." That disdainful gaze of it seemed to say, "Fuck, who else is there?" The entire arena was being crushed by Li Yuanba. With a height of over 6 meters, The bulging muscles on his body were akin to stone giants. The visual impact was just too great. No one dared to speak. Furthermore, no one dared to say long family. It was at this moment. Waha! Ahaha! The gloomy laughter seemed to come from hell itself. It was sinister, terrifying, and carried an incomparably strong, killing intent. Then, the deep pit began to tremble violently. The entire ground began to shake like an earthquake. The entire peak of the mountain began to tremble as rubble continued to fall down from the peak. Li Yuanba turned around slightly. His face sank. At this moment, Hong Tianjuan's body slowly floated out from the deep hole. His entire body was covered in blood, and his bun was scattered everywhere. The aura that burst out from his body was more than 10 times more terrifying than before. He didn't die. It's much stronger than before. Li Yuanba's eyes became angry. The power on his hammers moved. He didn't die, right? Your father will give you another 10,000 hammer blows. He moved. A huge power exploded out from his body. The strength Stripes could see with its naked eye as it smashed the hammer down heavily. It was as if a bolt of lightning had struck down. At this moment, Shua, Hong Tianjuan's figure disappeared and suddenly appeared in front of Li Yuanba. With one palm on his chest, a black beam of light shot out from the center of his palm. Break! Rumble! A loud sound echoed out. Li Yuanba spat out a mouthful of blood. His chest had been pierced by a force, and a huge bloody hole had appeared. Without waiting for him to react, Hong Tianjuan's figure disappeared once again. Li Yuanba's cultivation could not keep up at all. At this moment, Hong Tianjun landed behind Li Yuanba and moved his palm. Break! Rumble! His palm struck out and pierced through the other side of Li Yuanba's chest once again. A huge bloody hole appeared, blood gushing out crazily. Puff! Li Yuanba's face turned pale white. He spat out a large mouthful of blood. Hong Tianjuan's figure moved again. His heart sank die. Both of his palms landed on Li Yuanba's abdomen, and he exploded forth with power. Boom, boom. With 2 loud bangs, 2 bloody holes appeared on Li Yuanba's abdomen, and his enormous body was also knocked away, directly collapsing a nearby building. Rumble. When he was reduced to rubble, half of his body was also buried in the rubble. Hong Tianjuan's eyes turned cold. Next. It was too fast. It was so fast that it made one's hair stand. The idea of the 3 of them could not keep up with Hong Tianjuan's speed at all. It was impossible. The Hong Tianjun just now had not revealed his true strength at all. How could the power of the War King be so easily shaken? Huff! The purple-black flame on the sky spirit's body burst out crazily. Its eyes became gloomy, and the energy inside its mind burst out without restraint. I'll do it. Arhut was the first to rush forward. When he landed heavily in front of Hong Tianjun, the King Kong exorcism wand trembled heavily. Buzz! The ground began to glow with Buddhist golden light simultaneously. Fierce, blood-red runes appeared on top of his head. Up! He roared. The power of hell gushed into his body as his eyes turned sinister. Bedevilment. Shua! A charge. Behind him, a Buddhist light enveloped him as a gigantic illusion of a Lord of Buddha followed closely behind. Humph! Buddhist sacred energy? Hong Tianjun snorted. He suddenly moved and flew up into the sky, and a powerful illusion burst out from his body. He was like the emperor of the world. He crushed the shadow behind Arhut heavily. Vein of ancient first emperor. Situ Hao's eyes trembled. It really is a vein of ancient first emperor. No wonder. His heart was like rolling thunder, incomparably shocked. It was also at this time. The shadow behind Arhut was crushed. Arhut's entire body was also instantly crushed to the ground. Blood sprayed wildly. Hong Tianjun slammed his palm on the ground. His 2 palms moved and stuck it onto Arhut's chest. Boom! The chest of Arhut was penetrated. Its body became concave and it spurted out a mouthful of blood. Its body flew out in a straight line. 100 meters away, Its body created a few deep holes and remained motionless. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Too powerful. Hong Tianjun was too strong. It truly made people tremble. Hong Tianjun said gloomily. Next. The Sky Spirit and Lin Yusheng looked at each other and attacked at the same time. Baleful End Ghost Vein. Heavenly Water Domain. Long Sanfeng did the same. Tyrant Dragon's Fury. The three of them rushed towards Hong Tianjun at the same time. Hong Tianjun's gaze tensed up, and a bit of strength blossomed in his heart. Let me show you what a power of celestial is like. His body moved. One illusion became three. 3 heads and 6 arms. They were neither illusions nor illusions. Instead, they were physical entities that charged forward. The 3 entities split apart and rushed out at the same time. In the sky, descend. Boom, boom, boom. With 3 heavy strikes, the Sky Spirit, Lin Yusheng, and Long Sanfeng were immediately smashed to the ground. At the same time, the 3 Hong Tianjun moved. Strongest upgrade system. With a flip of his palm, he commanded, all of you die. Bang, bang, bang. With 3 loud bangs, all 3 of them had their chests pierced, creating a bloody hole. The 3 figures flew 100 meters before landing heavily on the ground. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Chapter 48_8419/23568848. Very arrogant, amazing, just a bunch of trash. Hong Tianjun was extremely arrogant, his gaze sweeping across everything. Not a single sound could be heard from the audience. Although a few War God Realm rankers had died in the battle between Clan Congress S and the Heaven Sect, it was still a pity. In front of Hong Tianjun, Long family, complete defeat. Hong Tianjun's face turned cold and said, who else wants to massacre my Heaven Sect? Who else dares to steal my woman? Huh? His voice suddenly roared, causing Hong Tianjun to become extremely furious. Who else? His voice was deafening. It crushed everything in its path. No one dared to speak, not even to breathe. Hong Tianjun stared at Situ Hao and laughed coldly. Situ Hao, do you dare? Situ Hao's face became extremely ugly. He sat on the chair, and both his hands were tightly holding onto the chair, the force of the impact constantly nullifying the trembling of his body. However, he was still unable to endure it, and the entire chair began to tremble. Situ Hao said with difficulty, No, I don't dare. He didn't want to say. However, he had to say it. If he didn't, his mind would be crushed into pieces. When he said that, it meant that Nantian sect had lost. Admit your status as the #1 sect of the Heaven Sect. Ha ha ha. Hong Tianjun laughed out loud. The demonic chi in his eyes became stronger and stronger. Who wants to go against the Chao Tian sect? Fight with me. Ha ha. In the entire South Horizon region, no one is qualified to fight against me. Hong Tianjun. I, Hong Tianjun, am the strongest person in the South Horizon region. At this moment, Jojo took a step forward. The leopard girl also walked out. It was also at this time. Rumble. Li Yuanba woke up from his coma and rolled over. He stood up from the rubble, his entire body covered in blood. At this moment, Arhut got up from the ground. The Sky Spirit got up from the ground. Lin Yusheng got up. Long Sanfeng also crawled up. Almost at the same time, he said, I dare. None of them died. They all stood up. Furthermore, imperceptibly, on their bodies, there was a strand of strange strength stripes linked to Jojo's body. It was extremely special. Hong Tianjun's gaze darkened. The entire plaza was in an uproar once again. He's not dead yet. How are these people hurt? He's not dead yet. Are they still human? To think that he was still alive after receiving such a heavy blow from the power of the War King. They were all shocked. The people of Long family were too crazy. They were all lunatics. Hong Tianjun laughed coldly. You're not dead yet, right? Looks like the people from the Long family are not afraid of death. Very good. Let's see how long you can endure this. Jojo took a step forward, and a pure and holy lotus flower rose from beneath his feet. Strange power exploded from her. Jojo slightly said, Big Sister Luo, she doesn't like you at all. She likes young Master Long Fei. Say, do you think that no one has the qualifications to fight with you? Young Master Long Fei is qualified. Who among you doesn't dare to fight with you? Young Master Long Fei dares. With every step Jojo took, a sacred flower rose up from beneath her feet. It was surrounded with halos of light, making her look like a fairy who had transcended from the mortal realm. At this time, the space around the leopard girl was filled with countless javelins. Li Yuanba picked up the twin hammers on the ground and said arrogantly, Hong Tianjun, you're too arrogant. Arhut said excitedly, Boss strength is far stronger than yours. What can you do about it? The heavenly spirit also followed. You have even gone through hell and killed the king of hell. You don't have the qualifications to fight against me. You don't even have the qualifications to carry shoes with your boss. They walked up step by step. Not all. Hong Tianjun was furious. He was truly infuriated. Even though he was blasted to such a state by Li Yuanba, he did not become angry. But now that he was angry, he looked at the people from Long family like madmen. Each of them defended Long Fei. They all looked at him with disdain. He was furious. Boom! The power in his body exploded outwards as Hong Tianjun growled sinisterly. If you want to die, then I'll send you to hell. All of you, wait patiently in the infernal realm. Long Fei, this trash will also be sent to hell to reunite with you. The might of the War King, the power of the first emperor. Boom! Bang! With a loud noise, the two forces rushed out at the same time. The ancient emperor's shadow appeared, and the power of the War King surged out. He wanted to destroy all of the Long family's people. Jojo was still fearless. She also wouldn't allow anyone to humiliate young Master Long Fei. Although he could say it was fine with her, he definitely could not say young Master Long Fei. The others did the same. At this moment, the crowd was in an uproar. A woman wearing a phoenix crown and red clouds descended from the sky. Lu Luoshi. She stood in front of Jojo, looked at the furious Hong Tianjun, and said, I forbid you from harming them. Xiao Tian and Yi Zian also ran over. Ruo Shui followed him. Yuan Ling, Niu Dahai also rushed out and could not stand by Jojo's side. The disciples of Xinjian's sect were in an uproar. Xinjian's sect master's face sank as he yelled in his heart, It's over. Hong Tianjun looked at Lu Luoshi and laughed coldly, saying, You're not allowing me to hurt you? Lu Luoshi, do you really think that you're easygoing? All right, you want me to let go of these trash? Kneel. Since you're already used to kneeling, then kneel down again. Last time I promised you that you would release that trash Long Fei, and today I will do the same. Ha! Jojo pulled Lu Luoshi back and said, Big Sister Luo, don't kneel down to him. This kind of person isn't worth it for you to love. Xiao Tian also said angrily, Hong Tianjun, do you still have any shame? Eldest senior sister, don't kneel down to him. Yi Zian also pulled Lu Luoshi. Lu Luoshi's expression was very calm, and he said, All right, I'll kneel down for you. Finished. Lu Luoshi kneeled down heavily. This time, it was heavier than last time in Fireglass City. She could not allow Long Fei's brothers and sisters to die here. Plop. The sound of kneeling was very heavy. Hong Tianjuan's eyes became sinister and started to laugh maniacally with a sinister aura. Ha ha ha. Lu Luoshi, do you feel good kneeling? Ha! Don't worry. After today, no one will make you kneel again, because you will become my, Hong Tianjuan's, personal plaything, a tool specially used to vent your emotions. Ha ha ha! Hong Tianjun was extremely furious in his heart. When he kneeled before Fireglass City, he was extremely furious. Now, he was even more furious, and the devil intent in his mind grew even more frenzied. When his fiancée kneeled down for him, all he felt in his heart was rage. In the face of Hong Tianjuan's wild laughter, Lu Luoshi was extremely calm and said, Can you let them go now? Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly I promised to let them go, but I didn't promise to let them go. Today is our wedding day. It won't be so lively if we don't have them. Don't you think so? Pass down the order. The people of Long family are not allowed to go down the mountain. Hong Tianjun laughed. After you participate in my wedding, see how I turn you into my tool to vent. Let them admire you too. Finished. Hong Tianjun's figure moved and disappeared from the spot. Lu Luoshi slowly stood up and turned around to look at Zhou. He looked at Long Sanfeng and the others, gave a shallow smile, and said, "Don't worry, I'm fine." At this moment, her heart felt like it was dying. Equals semi/floating life plus. In the evening, a dragon swooped down from the sky and landed at the gates of the Heaven Sect. He had finally arrived. Thank you for your support. Thank you very much. 8_8419/2356850. It hurts, it hurts. It hurts, it hurts. At this moment, a layer of a fist-sized bump appeared on his head, causing him to grimace in pain. Pain? You still have the nerve to talk about pain? Who told you to fly in the wrong direction? Long Fei shouted. Bing Hua said bitterly, "There's a distance of tens of millions of kilometers between Evil Sound Sect and here, and I have never been to the Heaven Sect before. How would I know the way? And, moreover, aren't you pointing in that direction all along the way? You still dare to retort? There aren't enough bags on your head, right?" Long Fei shouted. He muttered in his heart, "If I had known, I would have brought a navigator to this alternate world. How would I have found him from over 10 million miles away?" It was extremely bitter. He got lost halfway through the flight and had no idea where he was going. The myriad realms was simply too vast. However, fortunately, we made it on the first day. Long Fei looked at the sky and muttered, "The wedding hasn't started yet, right? I wonder how Grandpa and the rest are doing." Finished. Long Fei stepped into the Heaven Sect. At this moment, for sect guarding disciples blocked Long Fei and shouted, "Where did this brat come from? The Heaven Sect is not a place that a person like you can enter. Get lost. Scram far away. Don't disturb my mood. Today is our young lord's wedding. It wasn't easy for us to get some wine. If we really enjoy ourselves, then you'd better scram on your own. Otherwise, don't blame me for making you lie on the ground and become a dead dog." Long Fei raised both his eyes slightly. His lips curled as he muttered, "Since you want to turn your sect upside down, then do it all the way." Zhang Xian sneered. His figure disappeared and reappeared in the next second. The heads of the three people flew into the air and blood splattered all over the ground. The other person froze on the spot, blood spraying onto his face. At this moment, his body couldn't move at all. He was so scared that he started to pee and pee on his pants continuously. Long Fei walked to his side and said coldly, "Go and report to Hong Tianjun. Tell him that Long Fei is here and that the people from the Heaven Sect are here." That disciple did not dare to move, nor did he dare to even tremble. Long Fei's voice sunk as he shouted, "Go quickly!" That disciple fell to the ground in fright, retreated a few steps, and then ran out like a madman. "Long Fei is here! Long Fei is here! Long Fei is here!" shouting loudly along the way. It was as if they had seen a ghost. In another place, Zhou's body emitted a sacred and holy phoenix power, and a white phoenix shadow opened behind her back. The aura on her body also became incomparably holy. White energy wrapped around her as flowers bloomed beneath her feet. The power from her body was also being released. The blood hole on Long Sanfeng's body quickly recovered. The 3 bloody holes on Li Yuanba's body quickly healed. The wounds of all the injured were rapidly healing. The leopard girl was dumbstruck. She was incomparably shocked. 3 minutes later, Zhou retracted his aura and his body sank. His face was pale white and his lips were as white as frost. He revealed a shallow smile. "All right, both of you are fine." The leopard girl immediately helped him up. Long Sanfeng also walked over. "Little girl, are you all right?" Li Yuanba, Heavenly Spirit, Lin Yusheng, and Arhut had all recovered and their powers were stronger than before. Jojo's power not only healed the mystical effects, it also helped them to raise their cultivation. To them, even the slightest bit of improvement was a huge improvement. The four King Kong gathered around as well. Their hearts were filled with gratitude. Even the heartless sky spirit could not help but tear up at the sight of Jojo's pale and pained face. He was extremely touched. Jojo smiled faintly and said, "Grandpa Long, I'm fine. I just need to rest for a bit." As he spoke, Jojo's tears gushed out, and she said, "My strength can't kill people, and I can't help young Master Long Fei. Jojo have no use. Jojo can't share what you have done for young Master. Jojo has disappointed young Master's hope. Jojo has no use." Everyone's heart tightened. Seeing her like this, everyone felt a giant boulder pressing down on their hearts. Long Feng comforted her. "Who said you are useless? You've healed all our wounds, and no one can be more useful than you." Li Yuanba said straightforwardly, "Sister Jojo, don't worry. Today, even if I have to risk my life, I will still snatch my sister-in-law away. I will at least trample Hong Tianjun to death. I'm risking my life." Arhut said heavily, "Me too. We must kill him." Lin Yuxing clenched his fists tightly and said, "Kill him." Anger was suppressed in everyone's heart. At this moment, Xiao Tiantian walked into the courtyard that was guarded strictly, his expression incomparably downcast. When he walked into the hall and saw that they had recovered, he was startled, but immediately became downcast again and muttered, "It's time. They wanted you to go out and watch the wedding. Let's go." Li Yuanba raised his raging thunderhammer and was about to charge out. Long Sanfeng said, "Don't be anxious. The wedding will only start after a while. We need to discuss it carefully." They had also experienced the power of the War King realm and knew that it was very strong. Invincible strong. Moreover, the feeling Hong Tianjun gave Long Sanfeng was not at all finished. He was also concealing his true strength. If he wanted to steal the marriage, he had to kill Hong Tianjun first, otherwise it would not work. Xiao Tiantian slightly asked, "Grandpa Long, why hasn't Long Fei come yet?" She had always been fantasizing about Long Fei appearing. However, it was almost night, but Long Fei still had not appeared, causing her to feel a little disappointed. Xiao Tiantian looked at them and said, "You guys don't know how bitter senior sister Luo she is feeling. She doesn't want to marry that demon Hong Tianjun at all." While they were talking, Xiao Tiantian collapsed and immediately began to wail. He knelt in front of Long Sanfeng and said, "Grandpa Long, I beg you, please save eldest senior sister. Tell Long Fei to come quickly. Eldest senior sister really can't take it anymore. Her heart is incomparably uncomfortable. I beg you, I'm going to kowtow to you." Xiao Tiantian had truly broken down. His father had ordered her not to get involved. The disciples of the sect scoffed at her. She didn't care about any of this. It was as if she saw the happiness in Lu Luoxi's eyes. It was as if she saw Long Fei coming to save her. Long Fei still hasn't appeared. He shouldn't be coming. Her heart ached. Xiao Tiantian was about to kowtow down, but he was stopped by Long Sanfeng. Long Sanfeng's heart hurt. He held Xiao Tiantian up and said, "Girl, don't worry. Long Fei will definitely return. If this brat dares to not come, I, an old man, will never forgive him in my entire life. Boss will definitely come." Li Yuanba said heavily. Lin Yuxing also said, "He will definitely come. He definitely will." Jojo looked at Xiao Tiantian and said, "Big sister Tiantian, he will definitely do what young master says. He will definitely come. He will definitely come." They all firmly believed that Long Fei would come. However, when will he come? The wedding was about to begin. Chapter 18_8419/2356851. Junior Sister Apprentice Xiao, it's time. Junior Sister Apprentice Xiao, it's time. Don't blame me for not reminding you. It's best if you come out quickly, otherwise. At this moment, Li Yuanba took a step out of the hall, the furious lightning in his hands directly striking down, as he shouted, "What else do you want?" Bam! The disciple had reacted quickly enough, but he was still unable to dodge the attack. Half of his body was immediately smashed into the ground by Li Yuanba. Blood spurted out from the top of his head as he said in astonishment, "Your injuries, your injuries." Long Sanfeng coldly said, "Kill." Bam! Li Yuanba smashed down with his hammer. Headshot, instant kill. Long Sanfeng slightly said, "We pretended to be injured and took them by surprise. Remember, you four must cooperate quickly. This time, we must definitely not let Hong Tianjun have another chance to retaliate. Do you understand?" And the four nodded their heads heavily. After resting for a few minutes, all the people of Long family walked towards the wedding courtyard. The auspicious hour had arrived, and the wedding ceremony had begun. "Here's the groom," a husband called out, causing all the guests in the courtyard to stand up. No one had a smile on their face. Even Sidhu Hao had to feign a brilliant smile. The Heaven sect was no longer something that Nantian's sect could go against. If he did not make a choice today, Nantian's sect would probably be annihilated tomorrow. The War King was too strong. The realm of the vein of ancient First Emperor's War King was even more powerful. His last bit of ambition had been shattered. At this moment, Hong Tianjun walked out from the side while wearing the groom's uniform. He did not have much expression on his face, but his eyes were filled with contempt, and the demonic aura in his eyes was even stronger. Compared to the morning, the devil in his heart became even stronger. Li Yuanba and the others forced him out. The groom is so handsome. Being able to marry the #1 genius of the South Horizon region is a blessing for the 8 generations of the Liu family to cultivate. I wish I had a daughter. Elder Liu might be the vice sect leader of the Heaven sect in the future. So enviable. Envy and discussion sounded in the courtyard. However, Lu Ming's face showed a bitter smile. Ever since he was young, he had told his daughter that his future husband was Hong Tianjun, and it was as if they had always been married together. Yet today, he did not want his daughter to marry Hong Tianjun, because Hong Tianjun was no longer the Hong Tianjun of the past. However, it was not something he could stop now. Hong Wan sat in the hall, his face flushed red, the smile on his face never disappearing. Looking at the sect masters in the courtyard, he was extremely pleased in his heart. From today onwards, they are all my Heaven sect disciples. Ha ha ha. At this moment, the wedding host howled again, "Invite the bride," as soon as his voice faded. On the other side, with the support of 2 maids, Lu Luoshi called out, dressed in red, and with a large hood on his head, he slowly walked towards the hall. "Senior sister." Below the stage, Yi Zian shouted out. Before she could say anything else, she was pulled down by Elder Yi. He glared and said, "Do you want your father's life?" Yi Zian clenched her teeth and began to cry bitterly. Under the hood, Lu Luoshi was also in tears. "Eldest senior sister." Xiao Tiantian also shouted loudly, but was stopped by Elder Xiao, and he shouted, "Lu Luoshi did not even resist himself. So what's the use of resisting? Behave yourself." Now that the situation had developed, it could no longer be changed. The Long family was so powerful, and he could not change it. So what could they mere little inner sect elders change? Xiao Tiantian also cried. Lu Luoshi was brought to Hong Tianjuan's side. The maid placed Lu Luoshi's hand on Hong Tianjuan's hand and bowed slightly before retreating. Hong Tianjun drew closer, took in a deep breath, and said, "It's so fragrant." Lu Luoshi's body trembled. Hong Tianjun went further and leaned next to Lu Luoshi's ear and said coldly, "Long Fei still hasn't appeared. This trash, won't appear. Just give up on that thought of yours." Ha ha! Hong Tianjun started to unrestrainedly sneer. Then, Hong Tianjun said again, "Don't worry, tonight I will definitely cherish you well. I will make you want to die, and from now on, you will also become my plaything." Ha ha ha! Lu Luoshi's body trembled even more violently. Tears ran down her chin. She had always been strong, always trying to calm herself down and not be afraid. Even the moment martial arts arena knelt down, she hoped that Long Fei would not appear again, but now her heart was breaking down and she was crying inside. Heartbreaking. She was like a little girl who had fallen into a dark abyss. She sat on the ground and cried out loud, "Long Fei, come and save me, Long Fei, come and save me. I don't want to marry him. I don't want to. Tears welled up in his eyes. However, but she did not dare to say it out loud, because the lives of her father and the rest of the Long family were in Hong Tianjun's hands. When Hong Tianjun saw Lu Luoxi, who was crying under the veil, he laughed even more joyously and said, "This must feel really good, right? Ha ha, you'll feel even better in the future." At this moment, the elder spoke in a low voice, "Young master, it's about time." Hong Tianjun nodded and said, "I understand." And then, Hong Tianjun smiled sinisterly at Lu Luoxi. "After paying your respects, you are my Hong Tianjun's woman. The Long Fei you're waiting for won't come. I stepped on his guts in the Fireglass City. That piece of trash doesn't dare to appear." The elder cleared his throat. He said loudly, "As usual, for the sake of more blessings, the wedding will start soon. I would like to ask, is there anyone who objects to this marriage?" "Ha! Elder Wang, are you joking? This is the greatest joyous occasion in our South Horizon region. Who would object?" "Exactly. What are you saying? Hurry up and pay respects. We're all drunk." All the sect heads in the yard said loudly, "Objection? Whoever ate the bear heart leopard had more or less guts. Wasn't objecting courting death. Who would dare to challenge the Heaven sect now? Nantian sect?" It was not enough for Hong Tianjun. Yi Zian was firmly held down by her father. Xiao Tiantian was the same. Their mouths were covered. They wanted to stand up and object, but presided elders smiled faintly and said, "Since no one objects." At this moment, Long Sanfeng's voice shook, and she said, "I object." Li Yuanba walked over and said, "Me too disagree. I object. I object." Everyone from the Long family stood up and said loudly. At this moment, Xinjian sect's sect master could not control himself either. Elder Gentle Water stood up and said, "I object." Yuan Ling stood up, "I object." http:// Nyo also stood up and said, "I object, you're so ugly and want to get married. Your father has never told you. Look in the mirror and see how ugly he is." A disciple whose body was covered in blood ran in panic. It was also at this time. A loud voice came from the sky. "I object." Chapter 28_8419/2356852. As soon as his voice fell, it exploded in the minds of everyone present. As soon as his voice fell, it exploded in the minds of everyone present. The entire courtyard suddenly quieted down. Xiao Tiantian thought, this voice was very familiar. Yi Zian was also thinking in her heart, where did she hear such a voice? Long Sanfeng's brows twitched. Li Yuanba grinned foolishly. Yuan Ling thought in his heart, is it him? Is it him? Jojo was overjoyed. She instantly recognized the voice. Lu Luoxi's body trembled. He suddenly turned and looked at the courtyard and could not help but say, Long Fei. It was also at this time. The entire audience was in an uproar as they looked at Xinjian's sect. Looking at the injured Long family, he mocked in his heart, these people are really reckless. He's simply courting death. Hong Tianjun spared their lives, but didn't cherish it much, and even came to throw away their lives. Today, I finally know what it means to be tired of living. At the same time, many people looked at that heaven sect disciple who was covered in blood. It was also at this time. A black shadow descended from the sky. Boom! He landed in the yard with a head in his hands. The great elder of the sky sect, Dongfang Hai. Long Fei threw it into the hall, coldly laughed, and said, I disagree. The host was rather frightened, but he still reacted naturally. On what grounds are you objecting? Long Fei did not say a word as he walked with large strides to the hall. Everyone looked at him, but no one responded. They all wanted to know what he was trying to do. Moreover, many people were puzzled. Who was this person? Long Fei walked to the great hall and did not even glance at Hong Tianjun. Instead, He walked to Lu Luoshi's side and gently lifted the cover on Lu Luoshi's head, looking at her trembling eyes. At this moment, Long Fei hugged Lu Luoshi's bite with one hand and fiercely kissed him. Her mouth instantly moved towards Lu Luoshi's trembling lips and kissed them heavily. Lu Luoshi's pupils enlarged. At the same time, naturally, she was also quarreling slightly, and her cheeks flushed red involuntarily. However, Lu Luoshi kept on leaning back as Long Fei kept on moving forward. No matter how Lu Luoshi struggled, he could not avoid Long Fei's mouth. A kiss. Domineering. He was arrogant and unbridled. All the people in the courtyard stood up with a swoosh. Everyone's gaze was frozen, and their brains had been short-circuited. Everyone was dumbfounded. What was going on? Even Hong Tianjun was stunned. Hong Wanta's gaze was the same. I can't do it anymore. My brain isn't strong enough, so I can't do it anymore. Too cool. He's too handsome. Xiao Tiantian's hands moved his cheeks. He was so excited that tears streamed down his cheeks. So handsome that it fell to the ground. Long Fei, you're too damn handsome. Yi Zian was also so excited that tears started to roll down her cheeks. Boss is mighty. Li Yuanba was extremely excited. The energy in his body was bursting forth, stronger than ever before. Boss is indeed domineering. Lin Yuxing could not help but say. Zhouzhou giggled. Young master is too handsome. The leopard girl also laughed slyly. Big brother Long Fei is so sharp. Long Sanfeng was all smiles as he said, Good boy. Everyone was excited. The moment Long Fei appeared, they all held their breaths. At the same time, they made up their minds. At the same time, it also caused the energy in their bodies to become incomparably strong. His battle lust reached its peak. Finally, someone reacted and shouted, Who the fuck are you? Yeah, who is he? So arrogant. To dare to kiss Hong Tianjuan's fiancée in front of so many people. Even if he had 10,000 lives, it wouldn't be enough. This was an extreme humiliation for any man. Hong Wanta's voice sank, and he bellowed, You dog, I think you're tired of living. Men, kill him. At this moment, Hong Tianjuan's gaze darkened as his anger grew. It swelled up in an incomparable fashion, and then instantly exploded as he shouted darkly, Long Fei, you're finally here. Die. Not waiting for him to finish. While kissing Lu Luoshi, Long Fei's right hand moved and pointed at Hong Tianjuan's nose with his index finger, as if to say, Don't disturb this daddy's kiss. Lu Luoshi's body turned soft, and her breathing also became hurried. His throat was roaring. Long Fei, there's still someone left. Now is not the time, Long Fei. The color of her cheeks was so red that it could drip water. It was incomparably tempting. However, her words could not be said at all, because her tongue had already been bound by Long Fei. Hong Tianjun was incomparably furious. He knew that Lu Luoshi liked Long Fei, but he wanted to snatch it away. Even if he did not like Lu Luoshi, he wanted to snatch it away as well. The moment kneeled in front of Fireglass City, he became extremely furious. The kneeling he did in the afternoon at the martial arts practice grounds caused his rage to skyrocket, even causing his inner demon to become several times stronger. Now, Long Fei forced a kiss on Lu Luoshi's face. One must know that Lu Luoshi was his fiancée. He was brought to the wedding with a green hat. This was not only an extraordinary humiliation, it was also a trampling on his dignity. The rage continued to grow. The disciples of the Heaven sect rushed into the courtyard like a tide. The sect heads in the courtyard were still dumbfounded. Hong Tianjun roared in fury once again as his palms moved, slashing towards Xiang Long Fei. Long Fei, be careful. Boss, be careful. Xiao Fei. Such a short distance. Who in the War King could possibly block it? The distance was too short and the speed was too fast. It was something that could not be stopped. Hong Wanta grinned. Prepare to die. Lu Luoshi watched as Hong Tianjuan's palm struck down. She was struggling frantically, staring at the back of Long Fei and moaning. Long Fei, behind, Hong Tianjun attacked Long Fei. But Long Fei was calm. Her eyes looked at Lu Luoxi, as if saying, "Don't worry." Just as Hong Tianjuan's palm descended, Long Fei opened his right hand. "Give me the blade." Chua! The dragon's salure fell into his hands. Gravity and flames billowed, and the blade aura seemed to be overturning the heavens. Long Fei shouted in his heart, "Gravity knife!" Instantly, the saber fell down at a speed even faster than Hong Wanjue's. Rumble! Rumble! His voice shook the heavens, causing the entire heavens sect to tremble. Countless tables and chairs in the main hall flew up into the air, and as though they had lost all gravity, the stones all flew up into the air. At this moment, floating life. Table of contents, no windows. A deep pit appeared in the hall. Hong Tianjun lied inside the pit like a dead dog. His entire body was covered in blood, and he stared at the sky with a sinister look. Long Fei didn't even look at Hong Tianjun. From the moment he appeared until now, he had never once appeared. Ignore. Chapter 38_8419/2356853. 1/1/. It looked very ordinary, but it was a slash that could shock the world and make the ghost cry. The profoundness of this strike would probably only be felt by Hong Tianjun, who was in the deep pit. A blade fell. An uproar broke out. All the tables and chairs in the hall lost their gravity and were suspended in the air. Even Lu Luoxi was unable to control himself and was about to float. It made his scalp tingle. Hong Tianjun smashed the ground with his blade. What's going on? Who is this person? Just what kind of power did that blade have? Why didn't I feel anything? I can't take it anymore. My heart can't take it anymore. Too strong. Hong Tianjun was too powerful. In their eyes, he was invincible. The realm of War King was definitely an unrivaled existence in the southern domain, but to be smashed to the ground by a single slash from Long Fei, his brain immediately became twisted, unable to turn back. At the same time, Li Yuanba looked up at the sky and roared in rage. "That's great." "Ha!" The celestial spirit laughed maniacally. "So cool. I've never seen such a handsome person. How can he be this handsome? My liver hurts because of him." The four great King Kong roared like they were leaking water. They had suffered too much from being crushed by Hong Tianjun in the morning, and now that Long Fei had dropped to the ground with a single strike, this kind of strength made them incredibly excited. "You, Hong Tianjun, are awesome, no matter how amazing he was." Xiao Tian was so excited that he started to cry. He cried until he burst into tears and said continuously, "Too handsome, too handsome. How can I be so handsome?" However, this was only the beginning. Long Fei's lips loosened slightly. Looking at the blushing Lu Luoxi, she said gently, "I'm here. No one will dare bully you again." Lu Luoxi was drunk. The instant she was kissed by Long Fei, her body slowly melted. Looking at Long Fei's overbearing and gentle eyes, her heart instantly melted. And then, Long Fei held Lu Luoxi's hand as they walked out and said slightly, "I have something I need to do now, so I'll kiss you here first and leave it for tonight." "Good girl." Lu Luoxi's face was so red that it reached his ears. He lowered his head and softly replied, "In." He then obediently retreated to the side, just like a happy little girl. It was also at this time, Long Fei's gaze tensed up. He turned and looked at Hong Wanta, who was in the great hall, his brows knitted, and the dragon's salure in his hand trembled. Rumble! A loud sound exploded in midair. And then, the hall collapsed with a loud bang. The tables and chairs that were suspended in the air also fell down, and the house was in ruins. This power! All the experts in the courtyard shivered. They all looked at Xiang Long Fei. Long Fei smirked and said, "My name is Long Fei. I have only one goal in coming to the Sky Sect, to F******K him up. I'll only say it once, get away from strangers." His voice was calm. However, it was full of arrogance. It was also at this time. Rumble! A huge sound came from within the ruins, and Hong Wantu's voice turned angry. "Long Fei, Long Fei turned his gaze towards the ruins, laughed coldly, and said, "Why are you calling your father?" Ah! Hong Wanta was extremely furious. He bellowed, "Kill them all. Kill all these people from the Long family. None of them are allowed to leave." It was also at this time Long Sanfeng shot a signal flare into the sky. Bam! At the foot of the mountain, Lonely Soul Wild Ghost saw the signal flare in the sky. Xiaqin said, "I'm here. The Grand Master is here. The time has come. Disciples of the Evil Sound Sect, listen up. Long Family Army Command. Attack the Heavens Sect." The disciples of the Heavens Sect also started to move, madly rushing into the surroundings of the courtyard. The sect heads in the yard did not move. No one left, because, in their opinion, Long Fei could not jump up. At this moment, ha ha, ha ha. As the ruins slid down, Hong Tianjun slowly walked out of the deep pit. The devil intent in his eyes grew even stronger as he stared at the Long Fei in the courtyard, and he sneered sinisterly. "I never thought that you would actually dare to come. That's better. I want all of your Long family's people to die in front of you. I want to ruthlessly ravage Lu Luoshi in front of you." Ha ha ha. The laughter faded. The aura of the War King on Hong Tianjuan's body exploded out, and immediately the courtyard started to shake violently. Uff, uff. Some disciples with low cultivations were crushed to the point that their minds were shattered. In the blink of an eye, Hong Tianjun frowned, the image of an emperor appearing on his body. The Emperor Blood Vein, the simulacrum of the first emperor. Hong Tianjun laughed sinisterly. "Long Fei, you are just like a dead dog in Fireglass City, living off a woman for a few more years now. If you kneel down, I will let you live like a dog for a few more years." Boom! Boom! The sound was as if it exploded, and it continuously resounded in the air. Furthermore, Hong Tianjuan's body slowly flew up into the air. Li Yuanba reminded him, "Boss, be careful." Long Fei slightly said, "Yuanba, protect my grandfather and Jojo." Then, as soon as he finished, Long Fei moved, rushed, and shouted, "You like to make people kneel, right? Today, I shall let you kneel to your heart's content." Fourth level, Peerless. Buzz. With a move of his body's power, 16 times the elemental energy was released. With a heavy clench of his right hand, the black gravity knife energy on the dragon's salure began to churn. Shua! He charged straight at Hong Tianjun. Level 10, Gravity Knife. Boom! The dragon's salure that was weighing 103,000 kilograms suddenly seemed to want to weigh millions of kilograms. As the blade smashed down, the shadow of the dark dragon god moved. He roared. Hong Tianjuan's eyes turned sinister. Power of celestial. 3 bodies. Explode. Swish, swish, swish. Hong Tianjun rushed out with all 3 bodies, and every single one of them were real, fleshly bodies. The might of the War King. 3 layers. Crush. Hong Tianjun released the cultivation realm of War King, then fused it with the vein of ancient First Emperor in his body and unleashed 6 palms. Long Fei also slashed down. Roar. Gravity Dragon Gods slash. Beneath the gravity knife, a blade of Hong Tianjuan's body was crushed to the point of spitting out fresh blood. Unable to resist any further, he kneeled down heavily on the ground as fresh blood sprayed wildly from his mouth. However, Hong Tianjun was an expert of the War King. With one's physical body destroyed, he still had 2 more. Moreover, a slash could only kill 1 person and not 3 bodies at the same time. The instant he was about to kill, to the left and right of him, Hong Tianjuan's palms were pressed against his waist. Falling immortal palm. Bam! Moving left and right at the same time, a beam of light burst out from the center of his palm. Long Fei was no longer in a hurry to dodge it. He did not have any defensive holy artifact around him. However, Long Fei had never even thought of defending, so the idea sank. Yama Minamiya. The dragon's salure withdrew. His right hand held on to Hong Tianjun, and then his left fist violently swung out. Chapter 48_. 8419/2356854. You hit me? You hit me? I don't care as long as you can't kill me. I will kill you. Hong Tianjuan's falling immortal palm attack power was extremely strong. When the two palms struck down, the two energies resonated within his body and rushed into his stomach. He rushed straight into his sea of consciousness. His entire body seemed about to split apart. It was extremely uncomfortable. However, Long Fei was now a level 3 sacred body, coupled with the fusion of the giant demon heart. His physical defense had reached War King. Not dead. Then he would have to kill Hong Tianjun. Clasping Hong Tianjuan's neck would result in a violent beating, a crazy beating. Yama Minamiya's 10,000 arts punch was like lightning as it bombarded forward. It was a deadly strike, hitting the ground with all his might. Arrogant? Arrogant? Overbearing? Your father is talking about 10,000 times more. Hong Tianjuan's head exploded from Long Fei's attack. And as he stepped on the bloodied Hong Tianjun, he looked at Hong Tianjun, who was at the other side, and roared out in an incomparably tyrannical manner. Arrogant, your sister. His right foot shook. Boom! His body was stomped into the ground, causing it to cave in, while Long Fei took the opportunity to punch out. Hong Tianjuan's second body dead. However, the system did not reply him. Obviously, this was still not his real body. The surrounding people were dumbfounded. Long Fei was a madman. After the last of the three figures, Hong Tianjuan's gaze darkened as he let out a cold laugh and said, "Trash is trash. So what if you kill my two fake bodies?" Hong Tianjun frowned, a burst of power erupting from his body. Buzz! Buzz! The two bodies on the ground disappeared. Idiot! Hong Tianjun laughed in disdain. Two heavy punches, one crushing the body, but in the end, he did not even manage to injure a single hair on Hong Tianjuan's body. It was as if Long Fei had been played around with. Long Fei raised his eyes and laughed coldly. "You're an idiot, right?" Shua. His figure disappeared. Long Fei landed in front of Hong Tianjun and grabbed his throat with one hand. Too fast. Hong Tianjuan's face sank, and a cold smile still hung on his face as he said, "Long Fei, you think you've caught me?" Power of Celestial. Hong Tianjuan's forehead shook as he let out a furious roar. Just like the immortals in the movies, their bodies changed. His body once again materialized to other bodies. However, Long Fei's hands loosened. The dragon's salure was in his hands, and the god's devil blade was in his hands. Autumn water bit on his mouth and moved his body, 9 knives force. The power in his body began to burn. At this moment, Long Fei's body became 3 heads and 6 arms. Ashura, gravity knife. Boom! The 9 blades were as fast as lightning, not giving Hong Tianjun a chance to create any images as they heavily slashed down. Crack! 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 The saber light flashed crazily like a shadow. Hong Tianjuan's body kept on being suppressed back, unable to move at all. At this moment, Long Fei moved again. "You want to compete with your father?" Multiple shadows. Shua. 8 figures appeared and Long Fei stepped out, grabbing onto Hong Tianjuan's throat again. He roared out, "Hanger, isn't that a clone? Aren't you arrogant? F*CKU, show some arrogance again." With a move of his right hand, he raised Hong Tianjun up into the air and smashed him down onto the ground. "Pa, is it good?" And then, Long Fei then lifted Hong Tianjun up, and with a turn of his body, he landed behind and kicked him behind his knees. "Kneel down." Hong Tianjun kneeled down heavily on the ground towards Lu Luoshi, the floor breaking into pieces. Long Fei slapped the back of his head and said, "Kowtow." Bam! Hong Tianjun struck the ground heavily, blood spurting out from his forehead, and his body bounced up into the air. One is not enough. Bam! Long Fei once again struck down with his palm. Bam! Bam! After 3 kowtows, Hong Tianjuan's forehead was broken, and his bun was scattered everywhere. His entire person was in an incomparably sorry state. However, Long Fei did not stop there. Cow to my grandfather, admit your wrongs. A kick. Hong Tianjun turned his body and heavily kowtowed to Long Sanfeng and the others. Bam! Bang, bang, bang. 9 kowtows. A deep crater formed on the ground, and his entire face was covered in blood. For the last time, he did not bounce back and instead smiled sinisterly from within the crater. The people from the Heaven sect were dumbfounded. The sect leaders around were also getting scared. Hong Tianjun had been completely oppressed. He didn't even have the strength to resist. How strong was Long Fei? As their hearts began to turn cold, countless people felt regret. They should have left from the beginning, so why did they stay? Immediately, one of the sect masters said slightly, "Pavilion Master Hong, I still have matters to attend to. I will be leaving first. My wife is a child, so I have to hurry back. My 80-year-old mother has given birth as well. I want to go back as well. You know me. I've been suffering from severe liver pain recently. I can't drink. I'll be leaving first. Pavilion Master Hong, we'll come again next time." All of them wanted to leave. Hong Tianjun, who was at the War King realm, was oppressed like a dog. If they stayed any longer, the Heaven sect would definitely die with them. Long Fei was a madman that could not be provoked. He's a madman. Thinking about how Long Fei had massacred the 7 great demon sects, they were extremely afraid and wished that they could climb out immediately. Long Fei said coldly, "Did I let you leave?" It was also at this time. An elder rushed in and said, "Sect leader, the Long family's army is coming." Hong Wantu's face darkened. The faces of those sect leaders who were about to leave suddenly changed. "Long Fei, we're just here to join the clan congress. It has nothing to do with the Heaven sect." "Long Fei, there's a point to being arrogant. We don't want to be involved in the matters of your Long family and the Chao Tian sect." "Exactly. It's better if we leave." Long Fei's gaze swept across them and laughed coldly. "I have never had such an arrogant attitude before. I told you guys just now. I gave you a chance and no one left. Do you want to leave now?" Haha. These 2 words, it's too late. He didn't know how to cherish the opportunity. Then don't blame Long Fei. Moreover, if Long Fei wanted to make the Long family the #1 clan in the entire South Horizon region, the sect masters of these sects must be eliminated. Long Fei was still a little short of leveling up his experience. These sect masters were all experienced. How did he let go? One of the sect masters suddenly shouted, "Long Fei, don't be too presumptuous, unless you want to go against all of our sects." Long Fei glared and roared, "I'd just like to be presumptuous. So what if I'm going against all of your sects? Come up and bite me." He roared arrogantly. It was also at this time. What? Hong Tianjun, who had been kneeling on the ground with his head buried in the deep pit, let out a burst of cold, wild laughter. Ha ha ha! At the same time he laughed, the flames on his body turned black. Strongest upgrade system. Hong Tianjun was bedevilish. The power of the demon heart explosion was completely different. In another place, Gu Wuji gave a cold laugh. Demon heart, his strength is finally about to break through. I really have to thank this kid for that, haha. The 5th chapter. Thank you, brothers, for your usual monthly tickets. 8_8419/2356855. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.